Don't be gay, Phantom.
Don't be gay, Campia. Hello, everybody. It's Sunday. You know what that means? It's another exciting episode, Matinee with the Homies. And today we're going to be talking about legacy sequels. And we do have a very special guest when we get to that guest here in a minute. Campia, how's it going?
Special indeed.
It's going all right. Welcome, everyone, as Phantom said, to Matinee with the Homies. Today's episode, we'll be talking legacy sequels and explaining what that means. We're glad you could join us here today. And if you're watching in the replay, happy to have you. Buy the merch, check out the stream, and check out these guys as well. Go AP. What about you? How you doing today?
Doing great. We had a fun time yesterday, and I can't wait to get back into this usual stuff. So, yeah, just get into it. And Rhonda.
What? Nah, I'm kidding.
Huh?
I was listening the whole time. I understand. Hello, everybody. Y'all know who I am. I'm Ronan the Crusader. And yes, on today's Matinee with the Homies, we are talking about legacy and how much of an impact the legacy of one film has on a culture that they decide to go back and dig the grave and make another one and
Sometimes
possibly
good,
ruin it
sometimes
forever.
not.
Well, yes, sometimes it's good. Sometimes you just wish they left it for dead. But let us introduce our special guest for today's Matinee with the Homies. We got the one, the only K Jelly or KY Jelly or Chell the Third, however you like to say it.
Let's stick with that one.
Sir. Yes, okay.
Chell? That doesn't sound right.
You sons of bitches.
I
How's it going,
haven't heard that name in years.
It's been a long time since I've heard that name.
But again, thank you for coming on. He joined us in watching Beetlejuice, which is our movie for this week. So he'll have some thoughts on that as well, and he'll add to the conversation here too.
He had quite some insight when we were watching the movie, so we figured, what the heck, let's have him on.
Exactly.
I'd like to thank everybody that
go ahead,
came
Phantom.
out last night for our watch party of the Gina Carano Ronda Rousey fight. All nearly 300 people last night. Thank you guys for tuning in. So we're going to talk about that a little bit before we get into the main show. So
I got you. I got you. We did a watch party of Gina Carano and the basically the whole last 5 fights, the main fights,
yeah.
and it went over well. We had a lot of views and a lot of feedback, and we had fun doing it. To be honest with you, so you might see more of those watch parties going forward. We're talking about the Tyson Fury fight coming up in fall, maybe a few more fights, maybe SummerSlam, WrestleMania. We'll see what happens with that. But look for the watch parties coming more out from the homies here.
As always, you can even join in on the watch parties too by joining us on the For the Homies Discord.
Bingo.
Got the link down below on the description. If you'd like to say your input while we're live, you can also do that as well. More than welcome and more than open to do it.
Yep. So going forward, let's talk about the show legacy sequels. When I say legacy sequels, what comes to mind for you? Ronan.
Well, first, like when you hear the phrase legacy sequel,
Yes.
obviously now that it's something that's more in the zeitgeist nowadays, like first thing that pops to mind is obviously Top Gun Maverick. That's like the preeminent one that pretty much at this point now set the standard on how you make a legacy sequel. Obviously, we're going to go into more detail about, what makes one good, what makes one bad, why they do these things in the first place. But like, yes, I hear the words legacy sequel. Top Gun Maverick's the one that immediately comes into my head.
For me, it's more like you see your legacy sequel, and my brain goes, again.
Right.
Because we've gotten so many over the years now. Like the start of it, I would say somewhere around like the Muppet movie, or when you get other characters, there's quite a few more movies. I can't think of one right now, but whenever you would wait 10 years between, it's like, oh my God, we're getting a movie. Like recently we got Happy Gilmore 2, and basically for the past 5 years, there's been at least 2 released every year of a legacy sequel, and it's just nostalgia baiting.
I mean, the Tron Legacy sequel is literally called Tron Legacy.
Tron, that's the other one I was trying to think of. Tron Legacy is also, I won't say peak, but it's definitely the one that like brought people
Tron
in.
Legacy and technically Ares are both legacy sequels, although
the two are separated enough in terms of years, but once we go further into the show, we'll discuss why they even chose to do Ares in the first place. But yeah,
Avatar. You got to think about Avatar.
Avatar.
Okay.
does-
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good
I-
one.
20
Brandon.
years.
Yeah, I suppose I can see it. Yeah, Avatar and
Well,
Avatar 2. Yeah, it
One
makes
to
sense.
two. 1 to 2.
Right.
Cameron had planned all the sequels and all that for a while, but like,
Oh no,
it
yeah,
took
he went into
13 years.
detail about it. This was
Yeah,
like a 20-year kind of plan that he was doing
Mhm.
with this film franchise.
Mhm.
And it's
You
like
have some good ones. You have some good ones, and you got some god awful ones, like the sequel trilogy for Star Wars.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that. Much like we've gone into it many other times.
It
before.
does technically count because it's in the same world.
and
Ebola.
I will let everybody know ahead of time. We will be talking about the Star Wars sequels, prequels, and the originals. I will be cutting
And-
that into. We're not going to be doing an hour and a half show on that, just that, but we'll be
Right.
talking about it in general.
We'll
That's
ignore
right,
we'll
Ronan.
ignore Campia.
Well, no,
Right,
it was all of us. I think we
It
all were
was
kind
all
in
of
it.
us, dude.
Mhm.
So, why do you think studios decide to greenlight the legacy sequels?
That's-
What specific movies like do you massive time?
We
gap,
all
why
just
they have
went-
that?
Well, okay, so besides the obvious that we've all done with like the finger pitching right there, I'll try and go a little bit more into like what's the word I'm looking for? A more generous kind of explanation as to why. You take a lot of these popular franchises that existed before, like Star Wars or Star Trek, Doctor Who, or Tron, right? Like some of these things that are one-hit wonders that came out, and others that had sequels during their time. Now you're starting to think maybe there's a way we could try and revive it. I mean, another one you could consider a legacy sequel too. Now that I thought about it, Shaft, the 2001.
Mhm.
Shaft is another one
Yeah.
too. People take a look at these franchises that came up
What's up,
before.
Neurodivergent?
What's up? And there was plenty of success for during the time that they came out, and they think, wouldn't it be great to be able to try and show that franchise or that IP to a modern audience, just so that way, or let's say a new generation. Let's not use the phrase modern audience, but let's show it to a new generation of people who probably grew up watching the older stuff, or they never grew up watching the older stuff, but they see it on reruns, they see it because their parents show it to them. So now we want to make that stuff ourselves, so that way we have our own version of it in this period of time. That would seem like a generous explanation as to why they do it. If we wanted to go the cynical route, obvious answer would just be money. Let's, dig the graves of these old IPs and just milk it for all it's worth until it turns into absolute dust.
Well,
Like-
also, you
Like Star Trek.
Blatant crash grab. Just
sometimes not. Like look at Ivan Reitman. He did Ghostbusters, and then his son, who was around, he was around all that and around those people and everything. He wanted to make he first said he would not dig into his dad's world, but when they killed it with the 2016 Ghostbusters, he thought I had to do something. So he
Right.
comes back and makes his own in honor of his dad, as well as Harold Ramis, who passed. So he's like, Jason Reitman was not part of the original Ghostbusters or two, but he was around it. So it's
Reverend.
like it makes sense to get him or him doing his father's legacy. So you do get a lot of that too. The kids, the fans, the people that love these franchises want to make a story for them.
Mhm.
You can
Yeah.
also say with anime. Anime's done this too. Like when they did the Dragon Ball Evolution movie, Toriyama is like, this is well removed from.
This is upsetting. I need to show what really can be done.
Right.
Which I mean, I would have loved to seen Toriyama do a live action, to be honest with you, but I understood why he didn't. But his would have been
Yeah.
at least somewhat more, I think, authentic.
There's some potential, not just authenticity, but some genuinely good caliber to it as well, because some of the live action animes that exist now do come out pretty well. But again, putting that aside, it's how do I put it? You know what? I lost my train of thought. You all continue. I'll get it back.
Well, I mean, anime. I mean, also like anime has had legacy sequels created from them.
Vampire Hunter's Bloodlust.
That's what I wanted to get to. Yes, and certain animes do have legacy continuities that they have with them. Like, I wouldn't really quantify Gundam, because almost every new series that comes out, it's a new story that they have. But there are certain like animes that exist where they try and actually continue from what was left off in the original series. They want to like build more from that specific world and whatnot, which is pretty cool.
Gundam's weird. It's got the Universal Century, which they do continue, and that is one continuous story from the original Gundam going forward. And then they have their alternate universes, which is like your Gundam Wing, your Gundam Seed, all the other ones. Those are completely different.
So would you say?
Right.
Let me ask this question then. Would you say it's more legacy world than legacy character that they're building?
In Gundam specifically, yeah, more world because they moved on from Amuro and Char a long time ago. So
Okay.
So, what's your thoughts on like movies like The Matrix and other things like Cobra Kai and like the studios bringing these forward? Then you saw, Karate Kid Legends, which didn't do well. But like, what's your thoughts on studios bringing back the characters, the stories, the stuff like that for the nostalgia baiting?
Cobra Kai did start as a YouTube Red series, and it's like, which is cool and all that. But I'm not a big I won't say big fan. I do enjoy the first Karate Kid movie, but I'm not very knowledgeable on the universe. So the whole Cobra Kai stuff I have not watched, but like it was actually one of the few that was well received. Like they brought it back, and it was just like, well, people loved it.
I'll be honest with you, as a grown up with that movie, all 3 movies, watched them 1,000 times. It is the peak of a legacy sequel to me because they care about the characters. They bring in new characters. They build the old ones. The old ones are the still main characters, even though they do follow the kids a lot more. So it's like, I honestly, I think Cobra Kai was like the peak of what a legacy sequel should be.
It is. At the same time, there are some faults with it, especially around the latter seasons. But much like, similarly with Top Gun Maverick, Cobra Kai does the most important things that a legacy sequel should do, which is respect the source material, respect the characters, and respect the people that essentially helped make, the original series, the original franchise that came of it, that inspired this continuation, basically. And that's one of the most important aspects when it comes to Cobra Kai and when it comes to like legacy sequels in general. Is like you have to pay homage, and I wouldn't even say worship or reverence, but basically show a level of respect to what has come before and kind of continue from there,
But also like the Karate Kid movie, right? The most recent one with Jackie Chan. That was just blatant cash grab.
That was a cash grab.
100%.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, that one was. And the thing with that one too is they tried combining the world that you saw with Cobra Kai and 2 worlds basically. They tried combining Karate Kid and then the quote unquote Karate Kid, which is actually Kung Fu Kid, but
I mean, technically 3 worlds if you really think about it. The original movie with Ralph Macchio. You got the Jackie Chan reboot.
They didn't discuss the TV show in the movie though. They didn't discuss Cobra Kai in the movie.
No, Cobra Kai is kind of still the same world as the original Karate Kid.
The Legends goes from 3 to the Karate Kid remake to this. It didn't discuss the TV show.
Right.
But you're right. Like there's certain ones you could tell are cash grabs, certain ones you can't that are not. Like, let's be honest, the Matrix Revolutions was supposed to be a cash grab for the studio. But the only reason it wasn't is because one of the Wachowski brothers, sisters, whatever you want to call them, said, no, if you're making this, one of us has to be at the helm. And I forget which one it was.
I think it was Lana Wachowski.
Was it Lana? Okay. But so. they were like, no, if you're going to do this, we're going to do this our way, as opposed to like, but now they're making it. And like I said, like Phantom said, now they're making a sequel without Wachowski's even considered into it. So
you were talking about Resurrections, right? Because I know you said Revolutions.
Resurrections. I mean
Resurrections. Yeah, okay. No, that's fine.
The fourth one.
Well, also you have to think the Independence Day movies. You had the original, and then you had Resurgence. And Resurgence, not a great movie, but it's not a terrible movie.
They build a little bit more into that whole universe, which is kind of fun. But at the same time, like, I imagine a lot of people went to watch it because they wanted to see Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith, kick alien ass again
and banter like they did in the first
one. And
They
what's
had
one of
good
the first
chemistry.
things we find out? We find out, oh, A-Train is the actor that plays A-Train is now playing the son. Dylan, I think, was the character's name. And apparently his dad died during an experimental flight accident. What the hell?
One of the best fighters in the yeah.
When,
The
and
only
I'll-
guy who could escape the damn aliens, who could outfly an alien spaceship.
Mhm.
Yeah, he
Yep.
died in an accident. Yeah.
But then also you had to think between the two Pacific Rim movies, the Pacific Rim Run and then the
Wait, there's a Pacific Rim sequel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah.
know that?
With the guy from Star Wars, the
John
Fan-
Boyega.
John Boyega.
Boyega. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this. I thought there was
Wow.
just
Okay,
one film. I
I-
thought there was just Pacific
I
Rim.
see what he's
Nope,
doing.
there's two. Are you okay? Is that what you're doing? Okay.
Are you sure you didn't hit your head camp yet?
Yeah, I saw
I
you
get
doing
it
it.
now.
Okay,
I
yeah.
get it now.
It's not.
Okay, no.
I don't think it's that bad a movie. Be honest with you, he's just a bad actor.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll delve a little
Right.
bit into it. Boyega's not
He's
a
got
bad
rage.
actor in it, but that. All right, I know we're jumping the gun on this, but let's jump the gun a little bit on one of the questions. I think one of the questions is let me see here again. Give me a second.
We'll just bring it up, and I'll say
Sure.
what it is.
The question I believe is did the sequel change? No. Is there a risk of Hollywood ruining the legacy of a standalone classic by making a sequel so late in the game?
Yep.
Now, it's not
Oh, yeah.
so late in the game, Uprising. This one's maybe about 8 to 10 years after the first one came out, which was 2013,
Mhm.
which is cool. It's a year just before the new Godzilla movie came out and the MonsterVerse came out. It's great. That would have been awesome seeing those two come together, but instead we get this fucking god-awful abomination. But it's not a horrible film, god-awful completely 100%, like, as bad as Master of Disguise, like the critics want to put that, where that's at a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. There's some fun action to it. The issue, though, is much like how legacy sequels should be respecting the characters that come before, this one decides to do the exact opposite. A lot of the characters that do come back, like Rinko Kikuchi comes back as Mako. You have Charlie Day come back as Newt. You have I forget what that other dude's name is. The other scientist.
He was in the
yes,
movie.
we
Yeah.
watched him in
Beetlejuice,
Beetlejuice.
yeah.
I know. I wish I remembered him, like what his name was, but he comes back as well. And some of them are handled well. Others just get
Charlie Day,
swept under the rug. Or
Vern
just
Gorman.
very
Vern
terribly.
Gorman.
Yes, his character.
Vern
was
Gorman,
stupid.
yes. Well, that's the character's name, I believe. Gorman. Or is
No,
that
no,
the
the-
actor's name?
That's the character's name is Gottlieb.
Gottlieb, that's what it was. Okay, but anyways, Mako just gets killed in some helicopter crash during them showing off what was the one Jaeger's name? Obsidian Black or some shit like that. And it's so uneventful. It's just really unceremonious. That's it. And the chopper, boom, dead, gone. I'm like, come on, what the fuck are we doing here? She's one of the characters that saved the world, damn it. And Charlie Hunnam doesn't show up again either because it's like,
Funny.
Scott Eastwood
Write
took
him
his
up.
place.
there you go. Scott Eastwood's the one that takes his place as that kind of character. And
Wait, a white guy? Unheard of in Hollywood.
so
Well, it is Scott.
it doesn't completely tarnish the original film for me because Del Toro did an amazing job doing what he did with the first one. It was great. Like I saw bits and pieces.
If it wasn't for the original Pacific Rim, we would have not gotten Godzilla 2014.
This is
I
probably true. This is
would
probably true.
half agree and half disagree, only because Legendary's been trying to make Godzilla since 2009 when they tried doing the little short film with Yoshimitsu Banno, with the monster Hedorah in it, and then after that they were in conversation to continue doing it. But you're probably right because of how big of a success Pacific Rim was. They saw, okay, people want to see giant monsters again. Let's give them giant monsters. But I wish that they had kept Del Toro with the sequel and let him kind of continue from there. But
that's the thing. You said it yourself when it comes to legacy sequels. They wanted to make something for themselves. They didn't want to have him have his input. They didn't care about his input. They just wanted to make money. And
Yeah.
with him, let's be honest, with Del Toro, that budget's gonna raise. That budget's gonna shoot up. Not just because of him, but because of what he'll want to put into it.
And not just because of that, but also Del Toro has his vision that he likes to stick to.
Yeah, and also Del Toro at the time, he was like doing other films, and he just did.
Right.
I mean, he wanted to do the sequel. I mean, he was actually
yeah, true, but they didn't want to pay him. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They wanted to make a $20 million movie, and with him involved, it would have been a $150 million movie.
It's a genuine shame too, because I kind of wish, and I don't know how most people in general feel about Del Toro, because some of them have their gripes. I like Del Toro as a director. I wish that he had the same pull as like Christopher Nolan, because Christopher Nolan, whatever he says, it pretty much goes with like a lot of Hollywood. I wish that he had a similar level of pull, just so that way we could have gotten the sequel.
Del Toro did want to make a Lovecraftian, like I think
he wanted to make At the Mountains of Madness.
Yes, which I was like, yes, Del Toro is like the perfect person for that.
There's certain movie, like he would have been great as the Sandman. Let's be honest, the Sandman, a TV show, if that had been Del Toro's Sandman, would have been
Gaiman taking charge. Yeah, that would have been great.
If Del Toro did the remake for The Crow, I think it would have been even better.
Oh, completely. It would have been odd though. I think the Crow makeup and everything would have been odd.
Well, he always has to add his little like twist of odd fairy tale aesthetic into it. He always likes to do that. So I don't fault him for it completely.
The Crow would look more like the character from what was the water movie?
Oh, Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
Do you think he could do a good Van Helsing movie?
Yes.
I agree with that. I think Van Helsing would be a good one. Even the Frankenstein movie with Del Toro would be. Well, never mind.
No, the Frankenstein movie was actually really fucking good.
It would that was.
I know Campy.
No, I was about to say he could make a good. I was like, wait, he did make a good one.
Yeah, he did. It was a really good movie.
Del Toro would have done a good Dracula movie. He would have done a great Dracula movie.
Right.
But getting back
to the MonsterVerse.
The standalone, like you said, the standalone movies. Some of the ones you get are really good, some are not. Like you had the Hellboy movie was really good with Del Toro, but you talking about Del Toro. The second one didn't do as well, even though I think it was a really good movie. The studios and everybody else didn't see it as a moneymaker.
The reboot was a good movie. It wasn't terrible, but it was
reboot?
The one with David Harbour.
Yeah, I have to say
the Crooked Man. I didn't care for.
No.
Well, the Crooked Man's completely disconnected.
It's
from
a
the
horror
rest of
movie.
it. It's a new thing that they were
its own thing. It was its own indie film. That's what it was.
The David Harbour reboot was more or less them trying to, I guess, stay closer to the comics. The only issue is that they leaned a lot more into the gore aspect, which, ironically, I thought I would have enjoyed that, but I didn't because I'm so used to the more
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, well, not just Ron Perlman, but like there's like a level of
no, I mean that movie,
right?
That movie,
right? There's a level of constrained action and violence that occurs in that one. Like there's plenty of violence, but not to the extreme degree. Felt like they needed to lean on that more just to get more people's attention.
Well, let me ask this though: would you consider that a legacy sequel because it was like 12 years later, or would you consider that a reboot?
I suppose the question would be, how do you define a legacy sequel?
I feel like that one
if it's connected to the original ones, then you can see it as a legacy sequel. This was probably more of a reboot.
You can consider a reboot, but technically it's a prequel to the first movie in a way.
It was because they bring in the doctor and everybody doing that. You're right.
I can see that, especially considering by the end of the film is when spoilers, but by the end of the film is when they finally introduce Abe. Like that's when they managed to find Abe Sapien and get him out of the tube that he was in. Yeah.
Well, going back to a little bit, then you talk about the original films, like we talk about The Matrix, we talk about movies, Top Gun Maverick, stuff like that. Does the sequel change your view of the original film, either for the good or for the bad? What's your thoughts on like if you watch, say, well, I mean, me and Fan was on probably the other ones, maybe K Jelly, but we watched Maverick or Top Gun years ago in the 80s, in the 90s. Watched Top Gun before anything was discussed on Maverick. So maybe for you two, maybe Ronan, you watched it as a kid. I don't know. But what's your
Few
what's your
times, I think.
thoughts on seeing that and then going into the sequel? Like, was you like, oh God, here we go, or was you more along the lines of, yes?
Only
Um,
because Tom Cruise was involved in it, I wasn't too worried about it being like ruined or anything. I was more just kind of wondering, like, is this going to be good or is it going to be mid? Was more of what I was thinking with Top Gun specifically. When you get
I
another
think a
movie,
lot of people are thinking that.
and then when you get another movie, like let's say a comedy classic like The Mask, and then you get Son of the Mask, you're thinking, how bad is this movie going to ruin the original Civil War by
right.
existing?
Ooh. We don't talk about that one.
I mean, it's disconnected enough that I don't feel it ruins it. Jim Carrey's The Mask is probably one of the best like action comedy comic book adaptations, which is kind of a specific niche.
Mhm.
But I think it's one of the best. I found it very entertaining. And it's ironic too, because a lot of us always talk about how adaptations sometimes are faithful, sometimes aren't. This one was far and apart not faithful at all to the actual source material, because if you read the Dark Horse comics, it's pretty dark, brutal,
killer.
cynical stuff.
He
Yeah.
is a killer.
Ipkiss
He's a
is
killer.
a killer, maniacal killer in those comics. But then you watch
Mhm.
this, dude turns it into like a trickster god superhero, basically, which is
Loki.
hilarious.
He the mask of Loki, and he becomes Loki.
That's basically it. But like it, because the way they describe it, like the mask reveals your inner true nature desire. Or like this more idealized version. He sees
He's
himself
hopeless
as like this
romantic.
hopeless
He's
romantic playboy kind of guy. Yeah, that's what he
Mhm.
sees himself as. And then of course you have Son of the Mask, and people have their opinions on that one. Of course, the first act of it is just basically the dog wearing the mask having to go up against the baby who somehow adopted the powers just because the dad was wearing the mask while they
Loki slept with the mom.
yeah, basically.
Him and Mask, Loki slept with the mom. It was not. Well, it wasn't Stanley Ipkiss. It was whoever the character was at that time.
I can't remember the names.
But Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy
Right.
had the mask on and became the character, and that Loki is who slept with the mom. So the baby had powers.
Right.
The movie itself is not a good movie. I can get what you say about the story makes sense for what it was, but God, that visually, every shot being
baby
right in
was
your face.
trash.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
The baby was 100% CGI and it was trash. It was
Mhm.
just
There were a few moments where the baby
Yeah.
was a real
No.
baby, but yes, a large portion of the time the baby is CG because of what they needed to do.
the
for
funny
the
thing
film.
is, the baby, the baby in that is the one from Meet the Fockers.
Oh, it's the same baby.
Yep.
Oh, funny.
Okay, well let's talk about
I have a
this.
joke I want to make, but I'm not going to make it.
So, like we talk of legacy sequels. Superman Returns is a legacy sequel to Superman 4.
I
It
think it classifies as a soft reboot, like not a full
No.
reboot.
I disagree.
Well, hang on. Why is it legacy sequel, Phantom?
Because it is Christopher Reeve's Superman. It is his Superman. Even though it's Brandon Routh, it is Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Yeah,
So
it
you're saying
is meant to be.
So you're saying it's the story.
meant to. Yeah, it's meant to be the same character, like the same Lois Lane Superman.
That same
that was
world,
go-
basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
Same
which is what I do classify that as a legacy sequel,
Well, then,
whereas
Tommy,
like
what-
all
where's
the
your-
other
where's your
Superman
rebuttal?
movies
Where's your
afterward are
rebuttal?
reboots or reimaginings.
I'm
Yeah.
simply saying it's a soft reboot, not a full reboot, because it's the same universe and everything for the most part, but almost everyone looks different. Everyone is played by someone else and all that, so like
It's the same characters.
It-
It is the
so-
same
A
characters.
legacy sequel
So I'm
can be a
kinda-
soft reboot because a soft reboot isn't like
yeah, no,
fully
I'm not
rebooting.
disagreeing with you that it's a sequel, it's
Yeah.
a legacy sequel, but like it has reboot elements, I guess.
Ronan?
No, I'm kind of, I can see both angles on this. I understand what AP's saying, that everybody's being played by a new actor. It's not the same actors before. You don't have Christopher Reeve, you
Not
don't
the
have
same
Margot
creators
Kidder,
either.
you don't, or the same creators. So I understand that. Instead, you have Brandon Routh, you have
Mhm.
Kevin Spacey, you have all these other different actors that are playing
Wrong.
these characters. But at the same time, I also get where fandom's coming from, because even though this film came out decades after the trilogy of, sorry, not the trilogy, the four
quadrilogy.
films, the quadrilogy of the Christopher Reeve Superman films, the fact that it takes place in that same universe, considering the aesthetic that they're going for, the tone, the style, the overall feeling of like
and they didn't
how they're
exactly have a
handling the
choice with the
characters.
actors too.
No, they didn't have a
The
choice,
thing
but-
is, the thing with that would be, it is a soft reboot, and I can understand the perspective on that. But because it's still in that same world, and they're trying very hard to aim for it being that same world, it just so happens that it's modernized a bit because of all the new technology. You could still call it a legacy sequel. Think of it as like what Nerd Divergence says. If the film erased Superman 3 and Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, consider this film basically 10 years, 15 years after Superman 2. That's the best way that you could kind of see it.
Well, the good thing about the movie they did is he leaves. He
Right.
leaves and comes back years later.
Exactly.
And it's that's where I would agree with Phantom when it comes to it's a legacy sequel, because it says Superman did all this stuff, but then he leaves. However, I mean, you're right. You see both of them, because it's not nobody. If they had like Margot Kidder make a guest appearance as something, or the guy that played Perry White, or Jimmy Olsen who played Jimmy Olsen, I forget the guy's name, but like if they had them come back
in
and
the
be, like,
movie.
guest stars,
He was in the movie because he was the bartender in the movie. The original Jimmy Olsen was the bartender in the
was
movie.
he?
Oh,
Okay,
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like they should have made a big deal out of that then, because it's like that's where it throws me off. Is like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that's an interesting
see
little nod there.
Chris Reeve's understandable. Couldn't get him for the remake.
course.
He died.
Lois
He already
Lane.
died.
Lois Lane was also understandable for like.
Plus,
mental-
the thing
yeah.
if I remember correctly too, when Kevin Spacey finally finds the Fortress of Solitude and gets the messages, isn't it Marlon Brando they actually show as Jor-El?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is.
There you go.
Yep.
What?
And I
probably
will
one of the
say this for
Smoking
Kevin
Gun
Spacey too.
connections.
Thank you, Austin Powers too, for bringing us every
Well,
episode.
Also, thing is that Lex Luthor knows where the fortress is because he says he's been there. So it is the same Lex Luthor.
Right.
Yeah,
He
well,
has
and
been there.
that's I'm not saying it's not like when it comes to that Superman Returns, but like especially if there are like some of the original cast of the original Superman movies as other characters, that kind of makes it more of a reboot element because they're not playing the
Yeah.
same characters anymore.
Oh no, I understand that aspect. I do.
Yeah,
I
you can't have a
suppose then-
55-year-old Margot Kidder playing.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
Brandon House
Lane,
love
no.
interest. You just can't.
Okay, so the question is then, since this is one example, but now that I've actually been thinking about it, there might be a few more examples. You could qualify certain legacy sequels as soft reboots as well. Case in point,
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Here we go.
Yes.
The thing with the sequel trilogy, it supposedly does take place after the events of Return of the Jedi because they do talk about the Battle of Jakku, which does happen,
Mhm.
and then you have Palpatine, you do have Han, Luke, and Leia, even though they're not together, which that was a big fuck up.
Mhm.
But they do talk about the events of Cloud City with Luke's hand. They also do.
Amen, Cornboy.
Yeah.
Amen.
I mean, that's just the thing. It is a continuation of Return of the Jedi, for good or
It is.
bad. It is a continuation.
Well,
Because
the first one is A New Hope. We
Yes.
all know it. We
That's-
all.
That's why I mean that it's a soft
This is the
reboot,
true sequel.
considering that The Force Awakens just basically takes the same cues and the same beats as A New Hope. You could see it as them just trying to softly reboot the whole franchise.
Chewie,
Cons-
we're home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering too that like what is it? The New Republic starts acting like the same old Republic before the Galactic Civil War occurred, and you have the Empire coming back as the First Order. You have a bunch of
Vader.
you have a bunch of different elements in there that shows it's a soft reboot, even though technically speaking it's a legacy sequel. But
If you really want to consider
I'm the
anything
spy.
if you ever consider anything a legacy sequel, it has to be The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is actually a better,
Okay,
like,
so yeah, I get that because that is like what almost directly after the events of
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the
Yeah,
Jedi.
I can see
So
that. Okay.
I that's fair, but like that's also like the entire Disney era is a legacy sequel of sorts,
Yes.
but it's not a good adaptation. I mean, Rogue One is we all agree Rogue One's the best thing they got. Like,
Yeah.
which also that's not a sequel, that's a prequel, but that's a legacy.
No,
legacy
no.
prequel.
The phrase would be interquel or midquel because of the fact that it takes place between
No, it's a
prequel
bridge.
and original trilogy.
It's a legacy bridge between the prequels and the original trilogy because it is the events that happened during them constructing the Death Star, the plan.
Right.
So that's the bridge
Right.
between.
Right.
the-
That's why I say it's a midquel because
But
it
you're building.
those.
Here's the
But
thing,
yeah.
though. You're building, like you said, and it can be considered that. But you're building a story around the world, not the characters, not the. So I don't know if I consider that a
You
legacy
do
sequel.
have characters. You do have characters from A New Hope.
I know. That's what I was going. That's what I'm going to get to. Is like
Yeah.
they didn't build. They were just building their own little world and their story in the first season. And it's like you weren't getting anything from the original story until they brought in Luke Skywalker and oh my God, what's her name? Ahsoka and stuff like that. Until then, I feel like it wasn't a legacy sequel. And then season 2, season 3, well, not 3, but season 2, I really feel there is where it became a legacy sequel
because of Luke Skywalker and the
because of bringing in the original characters.
Well,
yes.
like we were talking like Rogue One. I mean, you do have the two characters that end up in the cantina on Tatooine. You also have Leia and you have Vader. So I mean, and you also have like the some of the squadrons that fight at the Battle of Yavin. So I mean, you have Moff Monda, and you have the base at Yavin 4. So technically you could just say it could be a bridge, but it's
a sequel to the prequels. It is
Yes.
a sequel to the prequels because of the fact that this movie came out considerable enough amount of time, like 10 years after the prequel trilogy, basically.
Well,
Kind of
okay.
the
Let
same thing with a lot of these other ones.
let me ask this question then, because it's sort of like our question, but kind of mixed with it. Is there a risk of Hollywood ruining by making
yes.
legacy after legacy after legacy
yes.
sequel? Like,
Oh,
is Hollywood ruining it, or
Yes.
is that
Just
make it?
look at
sequels.
Lucasfilm. Just look at Lucasfilm alone.
No, not just even
Look at
Lucasfilm.
Indiana Jones.
Look
Look
at
at Indiana
CBS.
Jones.
That's why I said
Indiana
Look at
Jones, The
CBS and Star
Matrix.
Trek. Look at the Star
yes.
Trek right
Star
now.
Trek,
They're
Star
making
Trek, yeah,
consistent
yeah.
amount of shows after the Kurtzman timeline got introduced. They've been making a ton of shows, both in like the original timeline, Kurtzman timeline,
Well,
trying to make new
Discovery-
timelines,
Well,
all that shit.
No, Ronan's right. They wrote because what are
Yeah.
we seeing more? We're seeing Captain Pike. We're seeing what's his name? Leonard Nimoy.
Okay.
Spock, young
Spock.
Spock.
You know,
Yeah.
seeing
The thing
these old characters brought into new.
The thing is, Discovery was a legacy sequel because this is after the events of. I mean, if you think about it, you can go back to Enterprise. Enterprise was a legacy sequel, a prequel, but Discovery is a legacy sequel to
Yeah, no, I wouldn't consider Enterprise a
I was gonna say the
legacy
same thing, yeah.
prequel
No.
because it was still being aired basically at the end of Voyager's run. It was just a prequel series, but it wasn't legacy by any
It's its
means.
own centered story.
And it was still still in continuity of the original first few
Willow.
series, like OG Star Trek 2.
Willow's a good
Was
example
another
of
one
Voyager.
too.
Willow's a good
One
example
those
of a bad
examples.
sequel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And of course, not to really bring this up because I know we talked about it like a few weeks or to a month ago, but the logical extreme for all these legacy sequels would be something like Starfleet Academy, taking it
Yes.
1,000 years into the future, where now you are completely separated from everybody else. You could almost quantify it at that point then as a soft reboot because now you've pretty much gotten rid of all the characters that we all know and love. You've changed a lot of the core concepts. Now it's become essentially a spin suit.
Even Strange
Well,
New
okay.
Worlds is a soft reboot because Pike
Okay,
is the captain of the Enterprise now.
I
Yeah,
won't
Pike and-
say I
and,
won't say that because like they have multiple freaking timelines. I won't say that freaking Starfleet Academy is a reboot because it's I think it's a bit of a mix. Like it's a continuation because it has characters from prior. It mentions multiple characters, and there's the one episode that it's revolving around
the Burn.
What's his no the captain. The black cap. I'm not remembering his fucking name.
Cisco.
Yeah,
Cisco. Yeah.
Cisco. And like, there's an episode that revolves directly around him, and like we don't see his face, but it's obvious. They're implying it's the same guy from Deep Space Nine, and it just and it just like they're obviously showing nods and all that, and like this one, like I did research. That one does classify. They have it in the same timeline as the original series and Next Generation stuff like that. While like stuff like Strange New World is in a new timeline.
But here's the thing: that's one after the other. So I don't know if I would consider that a legacy continuation, a legacy sequel, because we're getting one after the other. Like if you want to do it like that, then you could consider Marvel doing one movie 2 years later, 3 years later. You consider that a legacy sequel if you want to look at it like that.
Right,
because of the storyline of it being not Voyager. What was the Discovery, then Strange New World, then Starfleet Academy being so one after the other. I wouldn't consider none of them to be legacy sequels. I just consider them this own timeline.
Okay, so the question then is like making these one after the other. Does it ruin what came before? Does it ruin like the franchise as it originally was?
I think it does.
I'm not going to 100% say that it ruins it, but it certainly diminishes its staying power in the cultural zeitgeist. That I will say it diminishes its staying power because you are essentially diluting it by the amount of content you're creating for it. Like again, to go back to Star Wars, they're continuously making a bunch of shows on Disney Plus. They're demystifying a lot of things that we've once known about through either the films or the expanded universe. They're overcomplicating it and explaining it. Prime example, Darth Maul, Shadow Lord, right?
Bingo. I was gonna say Maul.
No, I know that's where you wanted to go with. That's why I wanted to
you
great minds. I'll take mine. But you get the idea. No, that was pretty much it.
Okay, go ahead, Phantom.
Okay. Think about the Alien, the Alien series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aliens, technically Prometheus is a prequel to Aliens 1.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would consider Prometheus a legacy sequel. I would not consider the ones after a legacy sequel.
I'd say legacy prequel, but
just a legacy.
Yeah.
Right, it's a legacy film basically.
And then also the Predator. The Predator has had legacy sequels that are still in universe.
The first one in that franchise then would be Predators, since that. Yep. Well, no.
Predators was a direct sequel. I would say honestly, I think Aliens versus Predators would have been the next. I
had to think about it.
Predators came out first, so Predators would be considered. It was the 20 year later after the second movie, so I would consider that more the legacy.
For specifically the Predator timeline, sure, it would be. But since Alien vs Predator does combine the two, you do have to wonder then if that would kind of be that first legacy sequel for both of them.
Both of them,
essentially.
Yep. Technically,
a combined legacy sequel. That's interesting.
Technically, a prequel to a sequel, because you had to think the timeline would be for the Predator, but the aliens never get to Earth until much later. But then they're already on Earth,
and it means that movie
consider a legacy sequel to the game. That's what I would consider it.
Okay, because the games did come out first.
Like
they did come out during the 90s.
Yeah.
Yes. I can see that. I can see it. But if we were to lean it to one or the other, I would put it for like Predator franchise at least. The last film that came out was like in the 80s, I believe it was, or the early 90s.
And then was the
92
second Predator.
Was Predator 2. The last Alien 97 film was Resurrection.
Predator 2 was 97, and
is it that way?
Predator 2 couldn't have been 97. It was much earlier.
Do you want to classify Alien Isolation as a legacy sequel?
1990.
Okay.
Ronan.
Wow.
Alien Isolation. Could that be classified as a sequel, a legacy sequel, because it's following the daughter of Ripley, and
Well,
kind of how
why the
she's
hell-
struggling
Okay,
against the
I
alien
can
and all that.
I
So
can see that. I can see that in that regard. If it's picking up from like the first two Alien films, then I can see it in that regard. But since you bring up video games, let's bring up the Ghostbusters franchise. We'll talk about this again. I don't know if we were just discussing Ghostbusters right now, but
That's fine.
Ghostbusters the video game, as Campia
Yep.
is showing, that you can actually constitute as a genuine legacy sequel because
Sequel to 2.
it's a
This should be
sequel to
Ghostbusters
2.
3.
Picks up
It also
from
has the
there
original
a
voice
few years
actors.
after, gets the original voice actors as voice actors
Well,
for it now.
yeah, actors. as
Right?
well.
No, yeah, I know what you mean though. And a lot of fans do qualify it as like the third true Ghostbusters film in that trilogy. Yep.
But
I
also-
agree, Booming Boss.
Also,
Bullet,
if,
right.
like, if you want to talk like anime, also Batman the animated series and Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond is a legacy to Batman the animated series.
Okay, yeah,
just
yeah,
have-
I'll give you that. I'll
no,
give you
yeah, that's fair. But like
You
there's
just
so
saw
many
that, Ronan.
examples of
97.
Yeah.
legacy
Mm.
sequels and all that, and it just like sometimes they're not even just movies. Like we all acknowledge that. Like sometimes a good sequel is not a movie.
In-
Sometimes it's a book. Sometimes it's a game. Sometimes it's a show. Like I think a good example of that, we already mentioned it, would
Cobra
be
Kai.
Cobra Kai. Yeah,
Cobra Kai is a prime example,
like
too.
Cobra Kai is like probably the best example because it is widely loved.
But then also you
And-
have Rambo. Rambo
Yeah,
had a
Rambo.
legacy sequel. You know,
Would you classify Expendables 4 as a legacy sequel?
no.
No.
It's
I-
not
I
far.
just-
There's not far enough between. I feel to be a legacy.
There's
sequel.
almost 10 years.
Right.
There's 9 years.
Really?
Expendables 3 came out 2014. Expendables 4 came out in 2023.
But then
I
also,
suppose
if you want to
Go
go like further back, you also can think. You look at the Bond films. You look at Sean Connery from what was whatever his last Bond film was to Never Say Never Again. That's him. That's a legacy sequel to his series.
I would say that
Hmm.
I'd agree with you there when it comes to Sean Connery's James Bond. I wouldn't call it James Bond a legacy sequel.
Yeah.
James Bond is one of those kind of peculiar
Every few
examples
years, yeah.
because every few years they make a couple films, even if they change actors. You know, like one film's Sean Connery, the next film's
It
Roger Moore.
would
the
be
next
it
one
would be
Timothy
like if
Dalton.
Pierce Brosnan came out
Yeah.
today with a new Bond movie. I'd agree that would be a legacy sequel
Yes,
to Pierce
to that-
Brosnan's James Bond.
Phantom.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
That I would see.
Would you consider Jumanji, the original with Robin Williams, and the newer Jumanjis? Are
Just
they
the first one. Just the first one.
The first one does mention
Because they talk about
Robin
Alan.
Williams. Yeah,
They talk about Alan.
Yeah, they talk about Alan in the first movie. In the
Oh,
rest
they
of the
do.
movies, yeah, no, the place that the one character who was like the one kid who was stuck in the
Mhm.
game. Well, the one place he stayed at was Alan's place where he stayed at and
Yeah.
where he built and all that. So
Okay.
One of the
So
Jonas
there's some
Brothers.
nods. There's some nods to the
Yeah.
the 90s
To the
film with
original,
Robin
yeah.
Williams.
So,
Okay.
and they talk about the what happened to Kate, what happened to the two kids. They
Right.
talk about that in the first movie, and it's like, so I would consider that. It's the same thing. Like, let's be honest. We're
Yeah,
about
if they're
get
trying to
some
keep the
crazy
same
reboots.
universe,
yeah,
I'd
like
call it-
we're
I
Yes.
consider it a legacy sequel. Yeah.
like we're about to get a Brandon Fraser a new
Oh, the Mummy.
movie.
Mummy,
Oh,
yes, the
Do
Mummy
you
4.
consider this a sequel coming up because if they get the same actors,
Yes.
or is this a legacy
Mhm.
Yes.
sequel?
Yes.
So it would depend entirely on what the script and the writing is going to be. Once we find out more information and they kind of tell us what's happening in terms of like a plot or a story. But regardless of that, it could still be qualified as a legacy sequel because you're talking about Brandon Fraser coming back as Rick O'Connell.
now,
Rachel Weisz is coming back as Evelyn. You even have
John Hannah.
Jonathan, John
John
Hannah as Jonathan. He's coming back as well too.
And
And-
the dude that's the Guardian, he's coming back.
Odin Fear.
Odin Fair
Fear.
as the
So-
Magi. He's
And-
coming
and
back as
the-
well too.
And Himotep is coming back. He's
Arnold
coming back
Vosloo.
too.
Arnold
Vosloo.
Vosloo.
back.
I do have a
think
question for
they
you
even
guys.
mentioned. I think they even mentioned the actress that plays Noxana Moon is coming back too.
Yep.
I believe.
Nice.
So
So-
I do, yeah. Just because it's just curious, like, do you guys have a movie that that is not confirmed to be a sequel to a movie that you think is a sequel, like a legacy sequel? Because I know a lot of people say The Rock is a sequel to Sean Connery's James Bond movies.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And so, like,
some guys go home and fuck the prom date.
Yeah,
the prom queen.
But like, is there any movies that you think could fit in the universe? Because I also know that there's the
this
Snowpiercer,
Yeah,
one.
I was about to say Snowpiercer.
Yeah, Snowpiercer.
Oh, okay, Snowpiercer. Yeah. I mean that kind of goes a little bit more into like the fan speculation territory, but I can also kind of see it, especially with The Rock.
Well, I mean,
The Rock's the one
Ronan, guess what? We're fans.
You get what I mean.
Campia. We also have Wheel.
I mean, you get certain ones. Like another example is what's the name of that movie? The Cabin in the Woods being a sequel to Evil Dead.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, also you have to think the original fucking Friday the 13th, because they have the Necronomicon. They talk about it in the fucking movie.
It's true too.
True.
And this will actually be, and it's before Evil Dead. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing with what was it called? Shit. The Cloverfield movies. You got the Cloverfield, and you got
Cloverfield
Paradox or whatever.
My only gripe with those is that they're far too disconnected from each other to a certain extent. It's hard to classify them as legacy.
Yeah, they literally just throw Cloverfield on a monster movie during that time and put it part of the franchise. That was just cash grabbing.
Okay. What about? Let me think. Split and Unbreakable.
Those
are not split. Glass and Unbreakable.
That you can, yes, because those do feel like that they're
Doesn't Samuel Jackson's character appear in the post-credit scene of that movie of Split?
He's in all three.
I don't remember if he's in Split or not.
Yeah. No, I remember him being in like a post-credit scene, like, and like he's.
That's what I'm saying. He may have. I don't remember.
So that you see
Split's the only one I like.
You see Bruce Willis's
Split's
character.
Actually surprisingly good movie.
You see his character. You see Glass, and they bring what's his name into the asylum, and it goes into Glass. So yes, it is a.
Well, I mean, it's a sequel. I consider Split to be a sequel, not a legacy sequel, because the other characters are not appearing in that unless AP's right about the end, which I don't remember.
No, he is a post-credit scene.
Like if there's no post-credit scene, no. If there is a post-credit scene,
okay. Okay, so like Tarzan, Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, it actually had a legacy sequel in Tarzan and the Lost Kingdom. With the guy that played in Starship Troopers as Rico.
Oh, Casper Van Dien.
Van Dien.
So that is a continuation from that movie. So it is it technically is a legacy sequel to that one with the same characters and stuff.
But the thing is that's true with any Tarzan movie. Like you could take Disney Disney Tarzan, and it's still the same characters, Esmeralda and all them, or not Esmeralda, whatever her name was.
The thing that makes
Jane.
But the difference is in the beginning of the Casper Van Dien one, they actually talk about the events that happened in Greystoke.
Do they?
Yes,
the grandfather dying and everything.
They tell them about him going, them finding him, taking him there, and he becomes the Lord of Greystoke. So they do talk about it. So it is a legacy sequel to that movie.
Okay. Are there any actors from that film that come back for the one with Casper?
Which one? Andy McDowell? Is Andy McDowell one of them?
I can't remember because it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I know there's events.
Okay, let me throw out another question then. Let me ask you this, because you're all bringing it up and it's making me wonder if it's just talked about for a few minutes in a movie. Does that keep it a legacy sequel? Like they talk about like in Returns, in it
depends on how lazy the tie-in is.
Yeah,
that is true.
I could. Depends on how well they do the tie-in. If it's a lazy kind of like mention, I wouldn't qualify it as such because it's kind of a last-minute thing they want to slap on to make it feel like it's part of it. If they put enough time if they put enough time for it, then okay, I can see it as a legacy sequel because it's like, yes, this did happen, part of this world.
One of
Now
those
we're
few
here in the
things that
future of
it's
it.
hard to quantify, but you know it when you know it type of
Okay,
thing too.
okay. How about this?
Oppenheimer
then?
-1.
Okay. I got one. Look at Godzilla. Godzilla's a prime example. You look at Godzilla, the Terror of Mega Godzilla, right? And you look, and you got to think like Godzilla Returns was technically a legacy sequel to the original Godzilla.
Yep, Phantom. You know what the issue is? When we get to the Millennium series, every film that comes out from there, except for Tokyo SOS, becomes a legacy sequel to the original.
Yes.
This is
That's what I was
why
gonna say. There's so
fun-
many films I
as-
can't
yeah,
consider
as
legacy
fun,
sequels.
no, exactly. As fun as it would be to try and talk about Godzilla here, because I can fucking talk
technically,
Godzilla all the live
it
long
was-
day.
Champion's like, no, please, no.
Technically, if you think
No,
about
I just disagree.
if you push them to the side, it technically is the very first legacy from the original movie. But then
Right.
they do
But too many
But
other
there's so
films
many films.
in the
There's
Millennium
so many
series come
films.
out
Yeah.
to try and jump immediately.
Yeah.
from- Hell, I think even Godzilla versus Mega Gyrus tries to do the same thing, where they even gratuitously like CG the original Godzilla with the 2000
Godzilla
version.
versus TU.
Well, here's the thing, Phantom. Here's the thing.
Mega
Here's the thing,
Godzilla.
Phantom. Here's the thing, Phantom. If that's your argument, then Endgame, not Endgame.
The Infinity War.
No, it is Endgame. Endgame, when they go back to the past to stop the Avengers in the fourth movie or first Avengers movie, or talk about Tony Stark in the original thing, that would be considered a legacy sequel, even though there's 800 movies between that
Yeah, I
timeline.
know.
So I would not agree with you. That's what I'm saying. I don't agree with you. I think
Right.
if there was time between that movie and when the first movie came out, it'd be different. But since there was like every other year a new Godzilla movie,
A new movie comes out where they try and tie it to the first one. Yeah,
Well,
it gets a little muddy.
Yeah.
That's where I'll
agree.
argue with you. I think if there was years between and then we got that movie, I'd agree with you there. But it's like when we went from 70 something to 2000, we had one Godzilla movie in between there. That one I would consider. If that one had been played off the first movie, I would consider a legacy sequel. But since it wasn't, no.
Well, technically, got to Terror of Mega Godzilla. It was nearly a decade between it and the Return of Godzilla.
But it wasn't based off the first movie, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. Return of Godzilla was based off
1985.
of 1954, so you could kind of qualify it as such. There is that time period, but again, that's just
how did it tie into the first movie? That's my point.
Oh no,
Because
it ties into it because they do mention that this monster showed up in 1954, destroyed Tokyo, and they managed to stop it.
Okay, so that goes back into my last question. Then, does that one little scene saying that make it into a legacy sequel for you?
When they're going into enough explanation to kind of tie it to the original film,
did they?
It shows that they did from what I remember seeing. At least. When they go into enough explanation on that, it helps you understand. Okay. This is tied to a whole world, basically.
But then also you take the Godzilla versus Mega Godzilla was the Kiyu because they used the bones of the original Godzilla for Mega Godzilla in that. That it got so convoluted.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was saying. I would give you that one,
Right.
but it's just so convoluted at this point.
Because of how many keeps coming out in that short of a time span. No, I understand.
Timeline was
That's
all
why.
over the place.
No, I understand the Millennium timeline, and I know we have been going into with Godzilla on this now, but the Millennium timeline is the one that overcomplicates it because they feel they have to tie each film to the original one, which doesn't make sense. There's no need for them to have to do that.
Okay. So if we're go ahead.
I think you would agree with me. The Millennium series completely fucked up Godzilla's timeline.
For as much as I like the Millennium series, and I did because that's the one I grew up watching the most, along with the Heisei. Yes, it did fuck up the timeline a lot. It especially fucked it up the most, I would say. When it came to Final Wars. Final Wars was probably the one that really fucked it up the most too. But that doesn't mean that I don't like Final Wars. I still absolutely love the shit out of it. It's fun as hell movie. But yes, it really screwed 100%. Up the timeline.
Well, certain ones do. Like you get ones that are just that aren't that great, but they're trying, and then they just do something to really fuck it up. I'll give you a good example. I think Jurassic World was a decent reboot movie for Jurassic, and then what they do in the third movie, try to bring back the legacy characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another prime example too.
Like it's you get things like that where they're just like, okay, this is working, but how can we
Yeah.
get more money? How do we get more money? Let's bring
Jurassic
those original
World
characters back.
was
The
good
weird thing
start
too was
to a
that they
new
didn't need to do
franchise.
that because there
Yeah.
weren't diminishing returns for the other two films. Like this
No.
third one still made $1 billion.
Well,
but
the draw of Jurassic Park is dinosaurs, John Williams.
yes,
Okay, KP, I got one for you. The original War of the Worlds movie and the War of the Worlds TV show in the 90s, that was a legacy sequel to that movie because it's the son, the foster
Yeah,
son
but
of the original.
the love
okay.
for it wasn't there. Let's be honest. That
Yeah.
show, that the TV show did not do as well as that original movie or as the later
Hey,
movie did.
we got Adrian
Right.
Paul from it. We got Adrian Paul from
Yeah,
it.
he was in that. Phantom always trying to grab me with the damn Highlander.
Well, okay. Speaking of actors, then I suppose the next question we could ask
That's what
is,
Rick Ronan, you read my mind.
yeah, see, there you go. Question that we got to ask then is, when a legacy sequel brings back original actors, is there more of a fear or is there a hope that they still have what
It's
it
a
takes?
50-50. It's a 50-50. I mean,
It
like there's a-
depends on what they're. Yeah.
I'll have if they're involved in the writing and what their character's going to do, I have more hope. But 90% of the time, it's just for if you can tell if it's just for a paycheck, I'm scared.
You have
I mean-
okay, so Star Wars, not to bring it up again, but Star Wars gives us those low expectations. But for every time there is a Star
Because
Wars movie
of
that
that.
comes out, you have either, of course, Top Gun Maverick, or I'll even say Beetlejuice.
yes.
Well, go before we go to Beetlejuice, Top Gun Maverick. I agree with you on that. For one thing, though, is Tom Cruise took control of what the character was going to do, and people say what you want. Top Gun Maverick is Bruce Campbell. What the hell is Tom Cruise taking control? It's like
Yes.
these guys can't do it. I'm going to come back and do it. And he did a great job. Val Kilmer, he brought Val Kilmer in for that that emotional
That one
moment.
last time,
His
yeah.
last
And
role.
it's like it meant a lot to us. It made money because they treated it with respect.
Yes.
Hollywood is not treating a lot of these with respect.
Right.
Well, we got like one more we could talk about real quick. Fucking Fury Road. Mad
Yeah.
Max Fury Road. Technically, it is the same Max from Thunderdome.
They brought back Max, but it's not our
What,
Max.
younger Max, right? That's what he meant to be.
No,
It's
but
not a
he-
younger Max. It is a Max that's basically experienced the
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
wasteland
it's
already.
Max after all the hell has gone through, and he just given up. That's
Yes.
what it is.
Instead of it being like him as old man Max, which technically would be, this could be like maybe 20 years after, maybe 10 to 15 years after the events of
Thunderdome.
Beyond Thunderdome, yeah.
yeah.
Like
No,
after they reestablished the city, yeah.
Yeah.
Though I wouldn't have
That's big.
minded, now that you actually mentioned that, Phantom, I wouldn't have minded, because this was around the same time a lot of these like older actors coming back to action roles was happening, like Keanu Reeves, Denzel Washington with Equalizer. I would have been interested seeing Mel Gibson come back as
Well, the
Max.
thing was at that time he's still in the controversy of the curse words and
Well,
the slurs and all that stuff, and that's
and
why
the
Hollywood
Tiny
didn't
Hat
want to touch
Committee,
him.
yeah.
Hollywood didn't
Well-
want to touch him.
We had talked about this on the main
He's
show.
my hero.
him and Danny Glover are supposed to be coming back for another
Lethal Weapon 5,
with-
it's in the
yeah,
works.
another
That's
Lethal
right.
Weapon movie.
That is
And that
happening,
would
yeah.
definitely be a legacy
That's a legacy,
sequel.
100%.
Oh,
For
that's
the amount of
100%
years that have
legacy
passed
sequel.
by since 1994, yeah, definitely.
They're getting too
legacy
old for
sequel.
this shit.
Literally.
And then there's other ones that we're expecting to see too. And like you said, we watched one. Who saw Michael Keaton doing such a great role, like coming back as Batman?
Never lost a set.
Here's
never
the thing:
lost
coming
a
back
step.
as Batman, we all saw he didn't really. It felt more phoned in to me. I don't know about
Yeah.
you guys, but it felt more phoned in. But then when she got Beetlejuice,
He
Wow.
is the old man genre, action genre.
true.
Liam
true.
Neeson is at this point, yeah.
But it's like, so we're gonna go into that.
Can-
What do
can
y'all
we-
think of Michael Keaton? What do you
I'm
think of
sorry.
Beetlejuice?
I'm sorry, but can we consider the new Naked Gun
Naked
movie?
Gun?
that's a legacy sequel because he's
Yes,
the
because
son
he's
of
the
Frank
son
Draven.
of
You
he's the
mentioned,
son of
yeah.
Frank Draven. Yes,
Yes, can consider it one as well.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So, what do y'all thought on Beetlejuice? K Jelly, you can go first since you're the guest.
For what it was not a bad legacy sequel. I'd give it maybe about a 7.5 out of 10. It's good, wasn't horrible. Well acted on Michael Keaton's end, I'll definitely say. Everyone else didn't do a bad job. I mean, they obviously had to remove a certain actor from it.
Even though he's in a lot of it.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Jones.
He's in it, but he's not in it.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Jeffrey Jones got arrested for having certain little kid things on his computers, on his stuff. So they pretty much like wrote him out of the movie completely. However, CGI wise, he was in there a lot.
Yep.
Oh,
But you
he
said-
was also
the bottom-
a puppet. He was
The
also a
bottom
puppet.
3/4
And
of
a
him,
puppet,
anyway.
No, it's interesting too because for as much as they wrote him out, they certainly showed his likeness a lot in different aspects. Let's put it like that.
So
And
what
not
would you
the
think?
main
What'd you
one.
think, Ronan? Keep
And
going.
not the main one.
For me, like I don't know exactly what I was expecting when I saw this because when I saw the trailer, when I saw the commercials for it and everything, I was wondering why. I understand why Tom Cruise would want to make another Top Gun film. I understand that aspect. I understand why Disney wanted to make another Star Wars trilogy. I didn't understand why Tim Burton wanted to go back with Beetlejuice. I get that a lot of people enjoyed it. I get that a
It's
lot of
the most
people found it
popular
funny.
movie. It's his most popular movie.
I'd put
I'd say one of the top three. Yeah.
yes, I would say one of the top three. My personal opinion, I think Nightmare Before Christmas is his most popular one, but that's just me.
Batman.
Batman.
Okay,
Batman's
Batman's another one.
Batman.
I get that. I understand that, but I didn't understand exactly why Tim Burton wanted to come back to make another one. Perhaps it just had to do with the fact that Wednesday was super popular at the time, so it's like, why don't we try and hop off on this kind of like macabre Addams Family style humor and likeness again
Well,
with
he did
this one
Wednesday.
film?
He's part of Wednesday.
Well,
So
no,
No,
the thing is, the fan base is what got him back into it. He talked about like he wasn't sure he wanted to do one. If the actors didn't want to do it, he didn't want to do it.
Right. No, of
And
course.
the fans pretty much bombarded freaking Michael Keaton to want to come back. And Michael Keaton's like, if Tim wants to do a good story, I'm all for it. So it basically was a cascading effect thanks to the fans,
Right.
which when you listen to the fans, you get a freaking hit movie.
well, also you have to think fucking Michael Keaton was on a comeback. Birdman.
Yeah,
He
Birdman.
was on a comeback as a
Yep.
Birdman. That was a good one.
Birdman,
Yep.
Batman.
He
Batman
was
was around the same
Vulture.
time, but
Vulture as well too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Old
yeah.
man.
For as for as many years that had passed from the first one, Beetlejuice is actually a
RoboCop.
pretty solid film. Yes, that's true. He was also in RoboCop as well. But yes, Beetlejuice was a solid film. I actually did kind of enjoy it. I thought it was pretty funny. I like that they also still employed some of the more practical effects into it as well too. I like the wacky, set designs and costume designs for the afterlife. He consistently kept the aesthetic from the first one, which is great. And the little like digital claymation thing that they did presenting Jeffrey Jones's death, like how he died and everything, and getting eaten by the shark and whatnot was hilarious. Hell, even having him show up as like half bitten and everything with no face, a little gore and viscera that they had with him and whatnot is like comedically well played, just so that way they didn't get an R rating for it. It was funny, but I actually quite enjoyed it. I like Jenna Ortega as Astrid, as the daughter. She did a pretty good job at it. It didn't feel so much like the Wednesday role, but it did kind of feel like she was trying to emulate similar sentiments
Dark
that
Gothic.
Winona Ryder played when she was young Lydia. When speaking of her coming back as Lydia Dietz, and it's funny too because it's funny too because like in the first film she was this very macabre, drab, and dull kind of girl, but you feel an appeal to it. Now it felt as though she got a lot more cues from her mother and started turning almost into this neurotic mess. but I also understand it's because
her
she started seeing
stepmother.
Beetlejuice, her stepmother, right? I also understand too, it's probably because of the fact that she was seeing Beetlejuice everywhere and
Mhm.
he was like tormenting her. That's why she was starting to act like this.
Which he said in a line, if you notice, he's like, I've been doing all kinds of things to get her to notice me. I think it's finally working.
Yeah.
Oh man. And speaking
But,
of, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say before you give your numbers, I was gonna say let's see what everybody else said. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, I was just gonna say, like speaking of recurring characters, you also had Catherine O'Hara coming back as well as Delia, the mom, which surprisingly a good role, like seeing her come back and really funny as hell. That spoilers, she bought a pair of Egyptian asps, thought they were fangless, tries to perform the ritual
Snakes.
to talk to her, try to talk to her husband again, and lo and behold, she's dead.
Well, she gets to talk to him
They
again.
were supposed to be defanged.
That's
They were
true.
not.
AP beat me to it. Yep.
What about you,
man.
AP? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I was kind of surprised because I heard a lot of mixed things about this sequel. So I was like, I don't really know if I had the interest to watch it. And when we sat down and watched it, I kind of had kind of like,
well, hang on.
I don't-
Was I the only one that had seen it beforehand? KJ,
I think-
had you seen it?
No, I hadn't seen him before.
Okay, so I literally is the only
oh
one.
yeah,
okay,
you
okay.
were the only one who's seen it. So I've, and of course I have not watched Beetlejuice 1 very much. I've watched it like 2 times in my life, 2-3 times. It's a good movie. But so I was like not sure how to feel about this. I watched it. I was like, okay, this is actually really good. I enjoyed it. A lot of good laughs. Michael Keaton jumped right back into the role like he had never left, and like it was really like enjoyable. And I mean, a lot of humor. Like it's like wow, okay. But it's just, I mean, it was just a good movie. And of course, like we all know the whole drama with
Jeffrey Jones.
with
yeah.
Jeffrey Jones, yeah.
But it was still a good movie, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. I mean, like the
Take
whole
you to the soul train.
yeah, and the whole oh my god, the whole singing part where like he's in the miniature of this town, he's singing. It was so
Whatever you do,
yeah,
we'll be
right
here
waiting for you.
Yeah, but
oh,
you know,
man.
I'm just gonna say this: justice for Bob.
Justice for Bob.
Yes.
Justice for Bob.
Sam, go ahead.
Okay,
ahead.
so for me, like the original Beetlejuice is a 10 for me because it was a well-made movie. It's damn well perfect movie. You know, you got the horror, you got the comedy, you got the slapstick, you got all that in it. It's a damn good fucking movie. This one, like my only criticism is I don't give a shit about the town. I don't give 2 shits in a fuck about the town. I don't care about the town. It's like the town in the original movie was a side character because you never went to it because you couldn't.
Well, you couldn't. Yeah.
Another thing is, I think Jenna Ortega did pretty phenomenal in this. I mean, she was doing Wednesday at the time, and for me, seeing Michael Keaton when like a year ago when this movie was announced, I was like, Keaton's coming back. I mean, he's gonna be Batman, and we were all hesitant for Batman, and we know how that turned out. But this was him coming back to the role that made him a megastar.
Yeah.
It did. It made him a megastar. And you gotta remember, Beetlejuice got him the role as Batman. That's what got him Batman. The original time.
You know, it got him Beetlejuice, Mr. Mom.
Yep. Well, there's other movies too, but the thing is that Beetlejuice for me is probably one of my favorite. I mean, one of my favorite characters of him, next to the dude from Birdman. I like the slapstick. I mean, it's like he like I said this Friday night. Keaton has not lost his comedic step because he was.
Oh no.
No, he has not.
He was a comedic actor when he first started. He was a comedian, and just see the scene like, okay, who wants to spill your guts? I'll start, and it's just his guts go every fucking where. It's fucking hilarious. But the throwaway lines,
Mommy.
like the Maitlands, right? Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis.
Yep.
We found loophole, and they were able to pass over. That's the reason why they wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
You know. Fine, whatever.
Um,
my problem is they had more Jeffrey Jones's images in this movie than the Maitlands, because I
Yeah.
know Lydia kept their pictures and stuff. She kept.
Well, Jeffrey Jones did allow his likeness rights. I don't know
Well, he was
if Alec Baldwin or Gina Davis did.
the thing was, he filmed scenes for the movie, and then
Yeah.
that came out, and they completely cut him out because he was in the movie.
But that's what I'm saying. He allowed the rights to be used. We don't know if Gina or I think Gina Davis was going to if Alec Baldwin did, but then Alec Baldwin with the Russ thing happened. That
Yeah.
I think he just was like, no, I don't want to be involved with anything like that. So she backed out because of him, but I don't know if that was the reason or not. But like I said, getting paid for your likeness rights, it should happen anyway.
But I think the cringiest moment is when they're singing the song at the funeral. It's the boys' choir. I'm like, I could have done without that. That was too cringy. It's
Don't
like,
die on us now, K Jelly.
that was Ronan.
Oh, was that Ronan? Oh.
Yeah, it was me.
It wasn't burp or fart, so I didn't realize it was Ronan.
I found the singing aspect kind of funny.
Dale.
But for me,
Yeah.
if we go ahead and do
No,
the
don't do numbers. Let me do mine first.
Yeah.
So for me, having seen this movie when it came out, I was
Fourth
like
time, right?
Phantom. Huh?
It's your fourth time watching this movie, right? Or
More than that. Probably more than that.
Remind everybody what version we started watching before we got to go.
Well, I've got a Jellyfin server, and it was the
Bootleg.
let's just say a special eye patch version, but it had good sound, good video, but it wasn't quite perfect. But so I in my infinite ability on computer, within 5 minutes we had the
We
real
saw
version.
people walking on screen, people. That's
Yep.
quality.
But anyway,
All right, yeah, but go ahead.
My thoughts is this: as someone who's seen the original a million times, loves the original, nostalgia for the original, everything about the original, I was so worried about what they were going to do with these new characters, with this new movie, what they were going to do. I didn't have any worry that Michael Keaton really would not be able to fall back into the role. But everything around him, I was like, what's going to happen? What's going to do this? Is it going to work? Is the jokes going to play off like they did back then? Because we're in a different world. So everything was in my mind was going against this movie, with the exception of his ability to act. I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you. I'll say this: watching it as a group of friends, I felt more enjoyment with it than when I was watching it by myself. Because when you're by yourself, you're more analytical, you more think about things. And I'm about to bring it up now, but like there's things in the movie you just totally see more when you're watching by yourself than if you're watching with a group of friends and just having a good time. First one being, excuse me. First one being the fact that
Pardon?
the first one being that no story that was in this movie was a constant story. Like there were so many different storylines in this movie. You had the wife of Beetlejuice. You had
it was a jigsaw puzzle.
It was a jigsaw puzzle, but it was like you had the wife of Beetlejuice, which really didn't go anywhere till the last 10 minutes. You had
Astrid's her love interest as well.
Love interest that was so rounded up so quickly. You had Beetlejuice trying to get here, trying to get there, ended up so quickly. Delia dying so quickly. The cop chasing Beetlejuice, who had no point in the movie. At the end, they yell freeze, and his character just stands there through the rest of the movie.
Right.
Until the very end, which then he unfreezes.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like you see these things, it's like, what are they doing here? 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 And it leads to nothing.
I think they just wanted Willem Dafoe in the movie.
To give numbers, I wanted to ask that. Do you guys think that Willem Dafoe was kind of wasted on this movie at all?
Completely.
Okay.
Like I don't think he was wasted. I don't think he was wasted. I just think his character meant nothing to the movie.
I think there might have been more scenes they did with him, and they cut him out because Tim Burton he does that.
Yeah,
probably. But I mean, look at his movies though. A lot of his movies are that way, where it's like we're going to build all this stuff and then not talk about it. Like they talk about Diggy's mom. No discussion of Diggy's mom after that scene. They talk about like other things. It's like, it could lead to a sequel, but Tim Burton didn't want to do. He wasn't going to do a sequel after this. Like they may, it made money, so they may. but he was just making a movie to enjoy his his characters again.
I think the one thing that they could have done away with, but it was pretty funny, was seeing Beetlejuice's origins.
Yeah. His the 1920s or 1800s, whatever it was.
Mhm.
Like I get that, and I enjoyed like the turning to the freaking old English language.
Yeah.
The old like the old Nosferatu.
I think it was Italian they were speaking.
Italian, yeah,
but it was
Nosferatu
funny.
Italian.
Yep.
So I enjoyed that. Like a lot of this, there's this movie for me is a great movie in scenes. As a movie overall, I feel like it was missing just the structure. However, this scene was hilarious, and then went into this scene that was hilarious, and went into this scene was hilarious. And so
every scene with Beetlejuice kind of stole the show, in my opinion.
exactly, and he was in it for 20 minutes, 22 minutes, and in the original movie, he was only in it for like 17, and people forget that, or it's just 16.
Also, you got to remember, like, every plot hole that was in the movie was like tied up in like 30 seconds at the end of the movie.
5 minutes of the last part of the movie, 5 minutes of it takes everything and just condense. Like we don't know what happens. Like there's certain things like Beetlejuice. How did he escape the sandworms from the first movie? We don't know. It doesn't really go into that. Poor Bob. Justice for Bob. Like he gets screwed for the whole movie.
Booming.
Justice for Bob.
Bob went booming.
But having said that, we're gonna start.
Phantom.
We'll start with Phantom up in the corner. We always end with Phantom. I'm gonna start with Phantom this time. Phantom, give your number.
I give it a 9.5. I can't give it a 10. It's not. It's a good movie, but it's not as good as the first movie.
Okay.
In my opinion.
So is Phantom sick because he hasn't been giving things a lot of 10 out of 10s recently.
Well, it's my first time.
He's seeing it through our eyes. That's the problem. So it's a Nam movie. 100% Sal. 100%. AP, what about you? What's your number for this?
I'm gonna be honest. Like with friends, I give it 8 out of 10. Because I think our banter, our responses to things, and just made it so much better. And the fact that it's so much easier to enjoy things when you're with a group of people. It really is. If it's like a bad film.
You're less analytical.
Except for that one movie that we watched, which
Sugarland Express.
That one. But I give it 8 out of 10 with you're one to talk. No, I'm kidding. No, 8 out of 10 with friends. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 on my own because it's not a great movie, but like it's enjoyable.
I probably wouldn't have watched this movie by myself. I probably would.
Well, here's the thing: Sugarland Express. We were watching the movie without any of us talking during it. Now we just So I feel like if we'd have talked through it a little more and made some jokes, it might have been a little better. But
yeah.
Okay, Ronan, what about you?
Me, I'd probably be generous. I'd put it as like an 8.5 out of 10, and that's kind of a standard thing because even if I was watching the movie alone, I actually managed to get a couple good laughs from it. Like there was plenty of things in it that I actually kind of enjoyed myself. Is it better than the original? Well, considering the fact that Michael Keaton didn't grab his nards and say, "Nice fucking model." Yeah, since he hadn't done that, but at least dropped an F-bomb.
He did,
a nice precision one. Since he didn't do that, I can't say it's better than.
Well, he dropped 2 officially, but one got bleeped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
because for like what because it was
for
rated R.
No, he drops the guy. He goes, "See you later, fucker."
Yeah,
And he pulls the thing. And then later on, he goes, "What the beep?"
That's okay. If that's the reason why, because he's in a church, and so they decided to censor it like that. I
didn't think about that, Phantom.
That would be kind of funny. It's like God himself pressed the censor button. Yeah, but I would put it as like an 8.5 out of 10. Like all around, whether I'm watching with people or if I was watching it by myself, I liked it. I thought it was a pretty good movie.
And K Jelly, do you want to rethink your number, or do you want to stick with what you had?
Well, like I said, 7.5. That would be my alone, and probably 8 with friends. So,
and I kind of agree with you there. Like I would go 7.5 as enjoyment. I like this movie a lot. There are a lot of plot holes, a lot of things that they kind of get done quick, especially with the Lydia's daughter getting married at the end. Like as crazy it was. Having the kid, that last scene though with the kid popping out was pretty funny. But with friends, I agree with you. I think like 7.5 without 8.5 with friends. This is a movie you want to get together with a bunch of friends, like on Halloween, and just have a good time. It's just, it'll make you cackle, it'll make you laugh. Freaking some of the scenes are just hilarious.
And again, Michael Keaton steals the show. Like you said, he's only in it for 20 minutes, and yet
22 minutes.
That's what people remember of the first and second movie is Michael Keaton, and it just tests him how great of an actor he is.
And I'll be honest, Justin Trudeau, is that his name? Thoreau?
Not
Justin
Trudeau.
Thoreau? Yeah, Justin
Thoreau, whatever. The actor that plays Lydia's husband was a great smarmy character. I enjoy him as his character.
AP, remind me again the name of the actor that played Gottlieb in Pacific Rim, because he was the priest in this movie.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, he was fun too. Yeah,
something Gorman or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, freaking.
Also, not helping his German lineage, considering he shares a last name with one of those guys from Hitler's High Command. But putting that aside, he was actually pretty funny as the priest as well.
Justin Thoreau,
Burn Gorman.
No, yeah,
Father Damien. He
did a pretty good job as the priest.
I did not realize that Father Damien.
Oh yeah, okay, I see it now. Yeah.
I didn't even get that joke when I saw it.
No, that's good. That's a good joke.
But an enjoyable movie. We think you should watch it with friends, especially. But like, it's worth watching at least once.
I'd say at least one time.
If you're a big super fan of Beetlejuice, I think you'll probably enjoy Beetlejuice.
If you're a super fan,
if you enjoy Tim Burton movies, you'll probably enjoy this movie.
But if you're somebody that's like not super big on that kind of stuff in general, then you might get a kick out of it if you just watch it with friends instead. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go into the list of legacy sequels, which AP, you got that list up, don't you?
Pulling up now.
That's what she said. So of course, most of these, this is a list. Like I said, this is a list made by someone on IMDb. We don't know who this person is. It's not in order of, or did you put in order of popularity?
No, I did.
Now it is. So it's in order of popularity. So these are what's ranked on IMDb. So you don't get mad at us if certain ones are there. Fire and Ash, I do not consider a legacy sequel.
Fire and Ash can't be a legacy sequel because this one came out just a few years after The Way of Water.
It came out 2 years after The
Way of Water would be constituted as the
Way of Water. Absolutely.
It's 20 years. It's 20 years between the first one and The Way of Water. It's 20 years.
10 years, I think.
Yeah, The Way of Water is a legacy sequel. Fire and Ash is not.
Yes.
So keep going.
Okay. And of course,
I like how you're zoomed in for Phantom. That's pretty nice.
This, you want, again, like we said before, you want to talk about legacy sequels that really get it right. Top Gun Maverick is the one that gets it right.
Top Gun Maverick was actually a really surprising because
it's all thanks to Tom Cruise, man.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. And the fact I will say is, Miles Teller also did a really good job in it.
Well, he did. What's his name? Glenn Powell did a great job.
Skip it.
Gladiator 2.
No Way Home. The epitome of money making off nostalgia baiting.
It's hard to call it a legacy sequel, but I can see why.
It has an homage. It has an homage.
McGuire and Andrew Garfield. They
have legacy cameos.
To a lot of the villains from them.
Yeah, legacy cameos.
More legacy characters. Legacy characters more than legacy.
Legacy member berries is what this should be categorized.
Let's say what you want. It made a shit ton of money.
It made money, and it was enjoyable. It was like
same thing with Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. Say what you want.
Now,
shit ton of money off cameos.
Spider-Man: No Way Home might not be a great quality film, but it was I enjoy it too. But objectively, it's like
because of this movie that we have all these other movies with it's not the first one, but it's because of this movie that we got Patrick Stewart in oh my god, Doctor Strange. You get all these characters coming in as Days of Future Past did it first, but this one is the one that showed there's money in doing that.
But then there's Deadpool Wolverine, which went all on board with it.
And look, it made $1 billion, $2 billion. You know what I mean?
Blade Runner 2049.
I watched it,
and I enjoyed it myself, but at the same time, like I can't. How do I put it? I've never sat down and fully finished the first Blade Runner. That's the problem. Every time I'm halfway through the film, I start falling
Really?
asleep,
I
which I
watch it,
wish
don't
was
like
not
it.
the case. I
I
wish it
watch it,
wasn't
don't
because I
like it.
know that it's an important film when it comes to like the cyberpunk genre. This one I was able to watch because there's a little bit more action behind it, so it at least kept me a bit more invested. And I kind of
We
enjoyed
talked about it
myself.
earlier.
We talked about it,
We
but
did
no,
talk about
hopefully
Mass
not.
2 earlier.
I don't know
Well,
if it's
let's
on the
hope
list.
not.
I didn't check the
Yeah.
list.
This I won't classify
Keep
this as a
going.
legacy
Keep going. We're not
sequel.
going to talk about Star Wars
Right.
anymore. We already talked
Yeah,
about enough
we've
Star
talked
Wars.
about. Here
This
we
Way
go.
of Water.
legacy
That's
sequel.
the
This is
legacy
true
sequel.
legacy sequel right here. Way of Water. Mhm.
So there's
The
a
only
3-year gap
the-
because
The only reason
Well,
this
of course,
was
3 years.
lower
They got
is
to do
because
CGI for like 3 years.
Fire and Ash made more money than
Mhm.
the Ray of Water did. That's the reason why it's up higher because it made a little bit
Probably.
more.
yeah.
Well, the list is set for popularity, so that's
Yeah.
probably the reason. why it's
Popularity
ranked.
on IMDb.
Yes.
Oh, I agree, Nessie. It is horrible.
Yo,
Cobra
Cobra
Kai.
Kai?
We've
There
talked
we
about
go.
that. Great sequel. Keep going. Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan
I don't
Kenobi.
know if I consider
We're not
that
talking
one.
Star Wars anymore.
yeah.
Tron Ares. So I'm sure Tron Legacy is on the list because I remember seeing this list. Legacy should be on here,
It
but
is.
Ares. Okay, let's set it
Ares
up
had
like
great
this.
music. I'll give it that. Ares,
right,
the
no, that's
Nine
what I was
Inch Nails
gonna say.
soundtrack was phenomenal.
It's
That's what
Ebola's
I was
favorite
gonna say.
movie.
Ares
Ebola
sets
loves
up
it.
a continuation of Tron, sets up a continuation of the grid. Instead of Daft Punk, you're getting 9 Inch Nails doing the music, which sounds awesome. Movie
But
finally
Daft Punk
comes
was awesome
out.
too, though.
Yeah. Movie finally comes out, and yeah, we got what we got.
The female, yeah, the female Tron.
And of
Jurassic
course,
World, like
we mentioned, yeah.
yeah, that one until the third movie, they had something they were building, and it was worth following in the storyline. But then
Right.
we got to bring in legacy characters because member
How-
berries.
So
How the fuck is Dial of Destiny there before Kingdom of the
Kingdom of the
Crystal
Crystal
Skull?
Skull.
We don't
I'll
talk
tell you
about
why,
that one, Phantom.
popularity. We're not talking about Dial of Destiny. And all you
Dysentery.
motherfuckers may say what you will about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but I still thoroughly enjoyed Kingdom of the Crystal
It's
Skull. I liked it
better
my God.
Dial of
It's better than
Destiny.
No.
Destiny.
Oh,
Yeah,
100% better.
And it's better than Dial of Destiny, but let's just remove Dial of Destiny out of the equation. Once that's taken out, everybody here obviously is just
We'll
like,
remove the aliens, and I love it.
It's the weak. Okay, Ronan. It's the weakest of the movies. It is the weakest of the movies.
I'm just so perplexed at the idea that aliens don't fit in this. I get everything was like religious, supernatural.
Oh no!
But,
They
like,
could
you start
fit in that
talking about-
story. They could fit. I just
Right.
didn't think it was good the way they did it.
Okay.
The execution is my problem with the aliens. Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Was that years between 2 and
It-
3?
Toy Story 3, I would
it
say
was like
yes.
about-
I think
See, I'd
12
say
years
4
maybe?
is more a legacy sequel, wouldn't it be? But
Toy Story 2 came out in 1999. This came out in 2010. So
okay.
11
wow.
years. And Toy Story 4, you could make the argument as well
Mhm.
because that came out late 2010s, early 2020s, I think.
when did that come out? Hold on, let me check.
Do the math real quick. Jamie, look that up.
2019.
2019.
So
So
about
9
yeah,
years,
nine
just
years.
just 1 year shy of that
Yeah.
normal threshold. Let's put it like that, because
Yep.
usually 10 plus years would be the
I'll
threshold.
say it. They should have stopped at 3.
Yeah,
100%
agreed.
should've stopped at
100% agreed. 3 was the
Um,
perfect ending right there.
Keep
going.
going. Beetlejuice.
then
We
we
talked
talked
about
about
this.
this.
Beetlejuice, which we talked
Hey,
about.
speak of the devil.
Four.
Speak
No,
of the
we're not
Devil,
talking
Toy
about
Story
4.
4. The one of the most
What?
anticipated ones for me.
I mean, I
Well,
would
yes.
say that does count as a legacy sequel because
It counts as a legacy
Passion of the
sequel.
Christ.
Oh, they are working on that. Oh my
Passion
god.
of the Christ was all the way back in 2004, I believe it was.
Passion
And
of
now
the
we
Christ
are
2,
getting-
Passion Harder.
Now we're getting Passion of the Christ 2, Crucify This.
Too passion,
Wait,
too passion,
look,
too
Too
furious.
Passion, Too
Well, look,
Furious.
I don't care. I'm kind of excited for this. I hope
I'm
that they
looking
go
forward to
with
it.
the wild and wacky stuff of like what Jesus did after he was crucified. I want to see him go down to hell. and
I'll
kick
say
some
this.
ass.
I'll say
okay,
this, I'll
so
say
hold on,
this.
hold on.
I'm so sick, and I know this makes sense why it is, but I'm so sick of the word resurrection in all these fucking sequels.
Well, this was kind of
because
fair.
This one makes sense.
Jesus. No,
This one
no.
makes sense, but I'm still sick of
Alien
that fucking
Christ.
word.
Alien
Hey,
resurrection.
speak of
I
the
know.
devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make your resurrection.
And yep, right there. Fucking
God
Matrix
damn it.
Resurrections.
Oh yeah, Creed was one that we forgot to
Creed
mention. Which
is also
Creed
legacy,
is a legacy.
sequel as well too.
Honestly,
Because
I think Creed is one of
Oh
the
my
best
God,
legacy
Ebola,
sequels.
Jerusalem Drift.
Jesus.
I think Creed is one of the best ones because it builds between the original to the new.
It was
does.
better than Rocky Balboa.
Well,
It was
it's better than
Rocky
and Creed
Balboa.
2. Creed 2 tried too much into the nostalgia baiting with Drago and all that shit. But
Right.
one I think was really well done for being a legacy sequel.
Creed 2 was with Drago's son, I believe, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, Drago's
Okay,
in it.
yeah.
Yeah, he's in it too. Though.
Okay. Now
yeah,
that
the
I
fight
didn't
is
know.
between Creed's son and Drago's son.
Right, but Drago himself is actually in it too. Oh, that's
Yeah,
kinda
he's in it.
surprising.
Him and he discusses things with Rocky, and they actually have scenes together. Two is a decent movie. I just think
Okay.
it's too nostalgia baiting, and where the first one was more building on its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, all right, interesting.
And I hate the Jason Bourne movies. I don't care. Y'all can say what you want about them.
I have
hate
not watched.
fucking
I have not
Bourne
watched the
Identity.
Jason Bourne
I've
movies
kind
very
of
much.
only seen Born Identity and Born Supremacy. I haven't really bothered watching any of the other ones.
The Jeremy Renner one. I like the Jeremy
That's-
Renner one.
I believe that's the
Ultimatum?
not Born Ultimatum. It's I
Oh, is it not?
believe Born Legacy. Born Legacy.
Legacy, yeah,
That's
Legacy.
Born, which speaking of funny enough,
Legacy!
yeah, because it's like, oh, it's the legacy of this crazy CIA agent but instead it's Jeremy Renner who's playing a different character now.
Now, Doctor Sleep is a good legacy to The Shining. It's a
We
good
will
movie.
not discuss that third movie.
Oh.
Third Crocodile Dundee movie. Doctor Sleep. I've never seen. I never seen Doctor Sleep, so I didn't know what to
I have not
expect.
seen it.
Yep.
Uh,
The interesting one would be, of course, the Bad Boys films. You got
Yeah.
Bad Boys Ride or Die.
I've not watched since the second one, dude. I'm
I've
so
seen Ride or
behind.
Die. It's actually pretty. It's pretty good.
yeah.
There's some entertainment value behind it. I kind of enjoy it. I haven't seen the next
I have
one
not
yet,
seen
which was
Bad
For Life.
No, Ride or
Yeah.
Die is the fourth one. You're talking about the third one.
Emma? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
Bad
right.
Boys for Life is the one I've seen. That
Yeah.
one's good, but I haven't seen Ride or Die yet. I'll
I
say
heard Ride
this.
or Die.
though.
I heard Ride or Die is better than the third one.
I'll say this. I haven't seen it, but I know there's a clip where Reggie, the same kid that was bullied in the
Yes.
second film, comes
He's
back.
A Marine. He's a
He's
Marine.
full on Marine and starts kicking ass, which I'm like, damn, Reggie, okay.
He has his John Wick moment, and it's just like,
Right.
What's his name
What?
said? He just took out a bunch of guys that broke into my house with guns. Let him cook.
my snacks
Oh,
is your
that's-
snacks,
that's-
Reggie.
that was-
my
I think
snacks
that
is your
was,
snacks.
Not Marcus. No, yeah, it's Marcus. That's Marcus. Yeah.
I've not seen
Put
the
those-
third, fourth one, so I don't know.
In-
Incredibles
this-
2.
Does count as a legacy sequel.
It was okay. It wasn't.
Uh.
It didn't really build on what the first one did.
I'll say
But
this.
I
It
think it
didn't.
was okay.
I'll say this. This is one of those movies I feel doesn't need to really exist.
Well,
I
it's-
don't think it needed
I
to
get what they
exist at all.
wanted though. They were building Mrs. Incredible over Mr.
This
Incredible.
movie
That's
didn't
what they
need
were
to
doing.
No,
exist
but
either.
like the thing is, shut up, child. But the thing is that like you have the first Incredibles movie and with the whole family coming together as as a team. So you would think you would see something like that with the second film.
Teamwork in the second one. No, it was
Yeah.
nothing wrong.
A better sequel is the PS2 Incredibles 2 video game.
Yeah.
That is far
Oh,
better
hmm.
because it follows the story of you're fighting the Underminer directly.
Rise of
and
the
it-
Underminer. Yeah,
yeah,
that
This
game.
is
Mhm.
before Holly Hunter got ruined for me.
Yeah.
With her fucking Starfleet Academy shit.
First true one of the first true legacy sequels in Indiana Jones. Yes, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Fuck all y'all, especially you, Chell. I like it.
You know what,
The
just,
Scream
Oh, yeah.
just for the sake of pissing off Ronan, it's a dog
Oh
shit
my
movie.
god.
Yeah. Fuck the aliens.
Should have told your mom to swallow AP.
Scream, one of those, like, say what you want. Horror movies are so many coming back at this point that are just
Yeah.
let's milk what you remember. Let's milk what you remember. And this is one of them. It's like
But
Well, it's
it needs
I'd
to
be
go
rem-
its way.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. Matt Bellatini Elephant and Tyler Gillett are going to be the directors for The Mummy 4. Just figured I'd, something to mention. I don't know what the caliber is of these films. I haven't seen them yet. I know that they made plenty of money though. So if there's some
cash
success
grab.
behind
Well,
it,
yeah, they're cash grabs.
right?
This,
No,
this is
if-
epitome of them taking over.
no,
Yes.
of course. If there's some success from this cash grab or not, I want to have
We-
some hope when it comes to The Mummy 4.
We did forget about the newest. I Know What You Did Last Summer. It's a legacy sequel to the second one.
That
Oh yeah,
is kind of the case. You're not
Well,
wrong.
it's probably
They
on
did-
here. I bet it's on here. I don't know if it is or not.
We'll see, but it does fall in line with what you mentioned, Campy. A lot of these horror films.
This
just
doesn't
come back.
classify as a freaking.
What? See, the thing is that, and it's. I know we stopped
Okay,
talking about Star
Resurrection.
Wars, but Star Wars was doing kind of the same thing as well too. You got the first Legacy sequel, then you're
Resurgence.
introducing this whole new introduction of like a trilogy. Jurassic Park did the
It's
same
not
thing.
a bad movie. This is not a bad movie, but it's not a good movie.
At least
I'll
it was
put-
Resurgent,
Okay,
not
so
Resurrection.
hold on.
Let me
I'll
say
this
this.
about Insurgents real quick before
Okay.
you say it. I love the fact that they expanded on what happened to humanity after the alien invasion, how
Yeah.
they utilized the technology and all that. I thought
Yeah,
that was
no, that's
really
kind of
cool.
cool.
Hey,
And I
Pete,
appreciate
think
Roland Emmerich coming back. Like they
I
didn't
think-
make it without Roland Emmerich.
I think the one good thing about the movie is like the final fight with the Queen. The Queen fight was pretty decent at the end of the movie.
I'll say this. I felt this film did not have that very cheesy cornball but sincere hope and sincerity that the 96 film had.
As someone who's
That's how I
not
was
seen
looking.
it, worth seeing once.
Hey, why don't we watch it Monday?
Whatever.
We can watch it.
As someone's
I think
not
you
seen
could- I
it,
think
worth
you could
seeing
do it
once.
without.
I'm
think
gonna
you
be
could do it
honest.
without.
Yeah,
Without?
I think you do
Okay.
without.
Yeah, you could do without.
I've done without
All right.
so far, and I will continue to do
I
without.
saw you. I saw that.
Yeah,
AJ.
I saw it.
Transformers. Oh my god.
Tron
what am I thinking?
Legacy. Yeah. This. Oh man, this one's a great one. This is a great.
This is
That-
a
the
good
soundtrack-
legacy sequel.
The
That's
soundtrack
definitely a
was
watch.
so good, man.
No, you want to know something? Actually, no. You know what? Talk amongst yourselves. Let me see if I can find this thing. I'll be right back.
But Tron Legacy, it's one of those movies like we didn't expect it to come out because Tron did well on cassette tape.
Video.
On VHS. VHS was what I was trying to think of, but yeah, VHS. That it basically like you expected a sequel maybe in the early 90s or something, not 2010. But to have it come out and we just be like everybody kind of being hyped, but at the same time, your diehard fans were like,
Great video
yes,
game.
we want to see this.
It was a great video game tie into Legacy too. It's a great video game.
I have right here the complete vinyl collection
Bring 'em
of
up. Bring 'em
the
up.
Tron Legacy soundtrack from Daft Punk, the orchestral, and of course some of the more electronic musical notes of it. But this is an absolute gem that I own right here. I absolutely love this thing. Like every
The
now and then,
the
I'll just
music
put
is
it on
great.
the record player and just listen to Derez, listen to Son of Flynn, listen to Recognizer, the arena music, Rinsler, all of it, all the good tracks in here. It's just fantastic stuff, dude.
Off subject, but
Absolutely
I
love it.
appreciate when the younger generation loves stuff that even me and Phantom don't listen to anymore. I haven't had a record in years.
I've got a few of them over here.
That's my point. But Tron
but
Legacy,
yeah.
a great sequel. Ares could have had a good soundtrack, but it was just they wanted to take it to the woke nation, and that's what
Yeah.
happens. Afterlife, like I said, great last 15 minutes. That's it.
It
What do
has
y'all think?
moments. It has moments.
This isn't happening.
I didn't know that. I did hear they were trying to make a
I
sequel for
heard
Iron
they were
Legend
trying,
2,
but
but
I've never
I
heard nothing
don't know.
recently.
Michael, yeah, Will Smith wanted to do it, and I was like, "You died in the movie. What the hell?"
Right.
Oh shit!
I
Mary
mean,
Poppins Returns.
it depends on what kind of ending they intend on choosing as a canon ending, because
I'm
there is
gonna
the
say right
alternate
now-
ending.
I'm gonna say now, Mary Poppins Returns is total trash. Don't even watch it.
I have not watched
Oh,
it.
okay.
I wasn't
really
planning
big on Mary
it,
Poppins, but yeah.
Genesis.
Finding
Genesis.
Dory-
I'll say Genesis was a decent. Hang on, go back up. Genesis was a decent try at. How do I put it? Not Genesis. I'm sorry, not Genesis.
Dark Fate.
No. The one, the fourth one.
Oh, Salvation.
Salvation was a
Salvation,
decent legacy sequel that they were trying to build onto the war of the Terminator.
Well,
That one I'll give a pass to. Yeah, it's not a good.
Well, here's the thing.
Aftermath.
Here's the thing, though. Could you really call Salvation a legacy sequel?
Yes, because it was 9 years for the third one.
Wasn't it 5 years? Because
It's only 5.
Rise of the Machines
on.
came out in 2003, and then Salvation came out in 2008. The reason I know this too is because this was it was out around the same time
Okay,
that it was
5 years.
trying.
Then maybe you're right. Maybe you're right then. Okay.
Right, it was trying to go up against the Dark Knight
6
in
years.
terms of
Then
box
I
office.
wouldn't. Yeah. Okay. My bad.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it
that's fine. Terminator Genesis, you could call a legacy sequel in this,
Story-wise, yeah.
especially story-wise too. The only
It's-
issue is that this is the first film that starts introducing a lot of those like rewritings of the universe.
Yeah.
And story
Yeah,
and
Jai Courtney though he was not a good Kyle Reese.
I
no.
say that Genesis is more of a reboot because they completely like change everything in the
Hold
lore.
on.
Yep.
We just got a $2 donation
Go
from
on.
Nerd Divergent. Y'all
Go
give
on.
us some good movies and insight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nerd Divergent. Oh, speaking of, actually, I got a chance to watch his recent review of Mortal Kombat 2. He himself also goes into some good depth. Speaking of, legacy films and whatnot, I think Mortal Kombat more of a reboot, if anything, but
Yeah,
also really tries to respect the legacy of the
I'll
franchise.
definitely have to check it out. Yeah, we'll have to go and check it out. Finding
Next on the list.
Dory. I didn't think
It
it
was
was. I
not
watched it.
necessary.
I didn't want to watch it, but I did just because I'll say this for it. It is sad. A lot sadder than I expected.
I bet.
Because it's
So,
like, she
okay.
forgets everything. So you
I'll
basically
say-
see
yeah.
a little girl left alone.
I'll say this: like, Finding Nemo was like my childhood film. It was the one movie I went back to constantly, and I really enjoyed it. This one was not necessary. It was not. It was unnecessary. It was.
It's a prequel.
All
It's
right.
more a prequel.
No, it's not really.
This-
it's not a prequel.
Yeah, because it's her
this-
as a little girl.
No.
It's
Well,
part of it's her
you
as
have
a little
scenes
girl.
of her
Part
as a
of
little
it, yeah.
girl, but then it's also her after helping out Marlon save
Yeah,
Nemo and
it's-
everything, and now she needs to find her own parents.
True. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, and it's not necessary. Just my main stance of it.
Mhm.
No, I'd just say Rambo's definitely a good.
The fourth Rambo was surprisingly done well. Yeah, I agree with you.
So I haven't actually seen this one. The one I did get a chance to watch was Last Blood. Last Blood was a couple of years way
I've
after
not watched Last Blood.
Last Blood's actually pretty solid, and I like the fact that finally you have a movie where Rambo's fighting the cartels. I think that's probably the coolest thing yet.
Yeah.
Nah, this one right here, where he's on that 50 cal at the end of the movie, fucking beautiful.
I see in the clip,
yeah.
dudes blasting away Burmese troops in that with that 50 cal. It's wild.
Yeah, and we already talked about Bad Boys for Life with
Ride or Die. We were talking about it there.
So,
Yeah, it's a good
this
one.
isn't happening.
No,
So
it's
let's kind of fast track here from here on. I'm gonna bring up some names, and AP, if you want to slide to them, you can. If not, then that's it. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. I thought that was a really well done Netflix version. They were trying to Eddie Murphy was allowed to be Eddie Murphy and do his Axel Foley stuff. They bring in his daughter, and she's a decent add-on. She's not the main character, but she's definitely not a sister character. What would you call that? She's the buddy cop thing. She's kind of there. She's a good add to it though. But I feel like this movie was really underrated, and a lot of people like have not watched it because they're sick of these legacy sequels. Let's see, A Good Day to Die Hard. That's that one. Say what you want. It was.
It's like Coming to America Part 2, legacy sequel, and it was trash.
And then
Right here,
scrolling down. Go ahead.
Rambo Last Blood. This one, like we mentioned before.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa.
Gremlins 3.
Not
I'm
happening.
scared. I'm scared to death. It's
Is
not
it happening or
okay.
Concerned,
It's
but I mean,
happening. I
Chris
haven't heard anything
Columbus,
about
so
it.
I have some hope on it. Chris Columbus, if he can kind of learn some cues from Joe Dante, I think we could see something pretty fun.
Get Zach Gallagher in
This, yeah.
that
I
right
know.
there. That right there was so not needed. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I enjoy scenes of the movie, but it is like Dumb and Dumber 2, like the Dumb and Dumber. I feel was better version than this was.
Now, Riddick is a good legacy sequel.
Riddick is.
I'm
I
sorry,
agree
man.
and disagree. I agree and disagree. Go ahead, Roman.
I think I might be the only one on this panel. I gotta say, I went with some family members to watch Riddick. We walked out halfway through the film. We just could not get invested by it. I'm sorry.
Riddick is a remake of the first one of Pitch Black to me.
Yeah.
And I'll need to watch Pitch Black just to see what kind of entertainment value for it. If I watch that and I like it, I'm willing to give.
It's basically
Riddick a chance again, but
Riddick fighting mud creatures is what it is.
Yeah, it's fighting in the dark. Like you get your origins of Rick and stuff, so you won't get surprised by some of the things running. But I
Right.
think it's an enjoyable movie.
I was disappointed too because I actually like Carl Urban. I enjoyed Carl Urban,
Yeah.
and I know he was there in this film too. But you want to talk
Only for
about
a few
roles where
minutes.
you
Only a
want to
few
talk about
minutes.
where he's phoning it in. I feel like he was phoning it in there, to be honest.
Now, The Return of Santa Cage, I did enjoy this for what it was, but it's not a good movie.
Train Spotting 2.
I
I'll
like
say
the
this.
fact. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, are you talking about Train Spotting? Or you talking about Cage?
It was a Xander Cage. Like
Go
the
ahead.
last thing I'll say, and then we jump to Train Spotting. I like the fact that Lionel Messi was in it before he got drone strike. That was hilarious.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Train Spotting T2. Not a lot of people have seen that movie. Not a lot of people remember it. If you enjoyed the first Train Spotting, this one's a real good watch because it's basically he in the end of the first movie, he gets away from his friends, steals money from them, and gets his life straight. And that's the whole point of it. In this, his life is straight. Everything goes like it's supposed to. Then he has a heart attack. And he has to go back to what felt like nostalgia, what felt like I need to go back to the city, and he relives basically his past, thinking he was having a better life then before his heart attack, and then you see things go down, and it's a really good sequel. It's not a excellent, I wouldn't say it's excellent sequel, but it's definitely if you like the first one, you're really gonna love this one.
Okay.
Halloween, we've seen that that was remade. I don't know if I'd say this one was as good as I enjoyed was it Friday the 13th? Which one did Rob Zombie did?
Friday the 13th.
No, he
both
did
of
Halloween.
I think
He did
his
both.
Halloween Legacy sequel was better than this one.
I kind of no,
But
actually, I would agree. I did like that one.
Though. That one has
but
Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah.
I enjoyed H2O a lot more. Like
Which is on here. It's on here later
yes,
in the thing.
that's one of the first of those.
Clerks 3. If you like the first two Clerks, this one will make you cry. This one was heart-wrenching in the way, like it's a good movie, but it's one you will watch once and only once.
I still need to watch this one, honestly.
If you've seen the first two, you need to watch it, but you won't watch it again. I'm trusting.
I think it's free on YouTube.
Keep going. Halloween H2O. Let him talk about that.
Yeah, right here. So this is actually the first ever Halloween movie that I watched myself, which I ended up skipping over a lot of things when it comes to something like that, but I rather enjoyed it. Like growing up watching this, it got a good scare out of me. I was freaked out by it, but I honestly even think that as a solo movie condensed in its own like world, like if you weren't considering any of the other ones that came out before, especially Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, which has nothing to do with any of this, or like I would still respect it because it's cool they were trying something different, and then you had 4, 5, and 6, which I'd rather not talk about. This on its own was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed H2O on its own.
Nice
mentions to like the first film, first two, and finally jump to this epic conclusion of sorts.
And I'm going to bring up only two more. We can go worry about showing them if you don't want to. If you don't want to scroll for 5 minutes, but
okay, hold on.
Bill
Before you do that, before you say that, Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul is definitely I enjoyed the first Wallace Gromit movies, the Were Rabbit one, and
I was gonna say if you saw Curse of the Were Rabbit, that one I liked a lot.
That one was really enjoyable, but like this was a surprise, and I know they did the whole Chicken Run as well, and
that's right. They also did a Chicken Run 2 recently. Yeah.
But I will bring up basically Bill and Ted's Face the Music, which I thought was a decent little movie, but at the same time they were trying to build Bill and Ted little girl versions for the movie. And Coming to America, the saddest freaking remake, reboot.
James Earl Jones' last fucking movie, by the way. His last movie.
And it's it was sad, dude.
There's another movie that none of us have mentioned. Zombieland 2 Double Tap.
Double Tap, what? It wasn't that long between them, I don't think. Was it?
It was 10 years.
Was it 10 years? God,
it was 10 years. 2009 to 2019.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't like the Zombieland movies. Never have. Never did.
I like the first one. Double Tap's kind of but it's okay.
Never saw Double Tap.
I just realized I was muted. Here's the thing. They tried to make an Amazon series in between just to kind of quickly capitalize off it. That fell through. Never saw it, light of day kind of thing. That's when Double Tap finally showed up. Yeah. I watched it a couple months back when they were airing it on TV. It's all right. but it also feels
not
like
better
it's
than the first one.
they underutilize some of the new characters they introduce, and half the time it feels like they only introduce them just so that way they can further push the new zombie variants that exist. It's like they were trying to turn this into Left 4 Dead or Resident Evil now.
I
Zombies
think
are
the goal was
evolving to try and
the mutated zombies and all that was the goal of that, and that's why I personally enjoyed the first Zombieland movie over the second one. And
it was a simple enough premise with what they were doing with the first one, right? Just the zombies in this world run fast. They want to bite you. They spread the virus. That kind
You
of
got
stuff.
to get away. Oh wait,
Yes.
we ran into people that we could help and help us.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'm horny. There's a girl there.
Time to nut up or shut up. Yeah.
Yeah. So the last question for tonight, we're in. Thank everybody for joining us. Thank you for what in the chat. Thank you for commenting. Thank you to Virgil for the super chat. And the last question I will ask this is: if you had the rights to reboot any classic film as a legacy sequel, what movie would you choose, and which characters would you bring back?
So I don't know if this was anybody's answer, but when we were talking about Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, and everything, got me thinking about Eddie Murphy. Got me thinking about another series of films that he was in beforehand. If we had done this maybe a couple years back, probably around the Tropic Thunder era, maybe a little bit after that, 48 Hours. That would have been interesting to see come back. Was 48
Nick Nolte
Hours.
and him and
Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy coming back. Yeah, would have been really interested in that.
What about AP, K Jelly, Phantom?
I'm still thinking about mine.
I was gonna say Tropic Thunder, a sequel to that.
You would like to see what happened after they went back.
Well, even just a sequel with those characters, not even necessarily like we don't need to see exactly what happened when they came back, but especially Les Grossman. I mean, honestly, sequel just him.
Let's see what happened, Les.
Yeah,
exactly.
Another one. It's another one. Yeah. What? Well, I'm all in my crib.
My opinion, none of them. If a movie's a one and done, they shouldn't get a sequel.
That's a good answer. That's
a fair answer.
I can't argue with that.
Full answer.
He's dead. One of them's dead, but I wouldn't want to do it now. But I would have liked to see Mystery Man 2.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
See where they would go from there. AP, do you got one? Or you want to just say skip?
I'll just say this. I think Phantom's answer was probably the best out of because like they would ruin them. Like realistically, Hollywood is full of arrogant people who have to put their touch onto everything there. And
I agree
like,
disagree though, because I wrote a Return of Bad Morta Willow 2. I really love those characters, love that story, love that world. And it may not have been for everybody's cup of tea, but I enjoyed it. Same thing with Highlander 5. I wrote it ain't 5 now, but I wrote Highlander Son of McLeod. And I think if you get a fan who loves characters and doesn't, like, I didn't put any of myself in these movies and these stories. So if you get a fan that really loves the characters and just wants to build from there, I think that's okay, as long as they're not just looking at it as money.
I almost
Champion, to be fair, every Irishman in that fucking movie would be you. Every Irishman in that fucking movie would be you.
There's no Irishman in Highlander.
Hey,
Caden could be in Willow.
Scots.
Oh God. Speaking of legacy sequels and fans trying to make that, actually kind of reminded me. And when we were walking down like the Godzilla path real quick, I was half thinking about whether or not to mention it in the first place.
I knew it.
there's a movie that's called Heritage.
Wasn't fan of
Initially, they were going to call it Godzilla Heritage, and that's something that a fan was making to try and continue from like one of the Godzilla films. But Toho got involved, and Toho is very protective of their IP, much like how Nintendo and several other of these Japanese companies are. So they had to fight with them to change the title of it, so it became
You're
Heritage.
right. Some fans are some fans are good things, some are not. I'll give you a prime example. Back to the Sun. He has milked the shit out of this Jason David Frank White Dragon movie to get money, and people are sick of it. People don't care. Even if it comes out good, it's gonna be hated because of how much bullshit he's put us through.
Yeah. So Campia, I want to ask a question. Does your question entail like an IP that's already had movies done? Like
like if you could take a movie and make a legacy sequel,
because I mean, I'll be honest. I have a few movies I don't want people to touch at all, and that's Back to the Future. I do not want them to touch it at all because
Actually, the game Back to the Future game was a decent
no.
score.
That's fine. But like in general, like I
No
know
need
they've
to
had
make
rumors.
another one, yeah.
They've had rumors that they were gonna they're in like discussions.
Oh
that
yeah,
they were
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
make a new one.
No.
I'm just like no, don't make a new one and all that. But I was gonna say if it classifies as like stuff that already had has like current stuff like that, I would go back. I've already mentioned it a few times, but Heir to the Empire would have been a great freaking would have been a great continuation.
They're already doing it. They're doing it though.
I don't think they're actually going to fully go through with it. Not in the way that properly adapts this. And I smacked my mic. And I don't think they'll properly. I don't think they're properly going to adapt this because they're fucking dumbasses. Simple as that.
Right.
But yeah, so we honestly, I think Phantom hit it on the nail on the head. When a standalone movie, you don't need to make a sequel, or make a legacy sequel. But having said that, that's our show. Phantom, take us out.
Hi everybody. So next
2
week,
hours.
I don't think we have a guest next week. I could be wrong, but next week for the Homies podcast is at 99 episodes next week. One away from 100. Gaming with the Homies returns next Saturday night, and I'll let Campia introduce what we're going to be doing next week. But Ronan, what you got going on?
Yes, good old Ronan the Crusader. So if you notice my link tree underneath, I got all my different websites, all my different links. I got a YouTube, which is Ronan the Crusader. I got a Kick, which is Ronan the Crusader. I got an X, which is Ronan_Crusader7. A little different there. Soon enough, I will have a Rumble, which is Ronan the Crusader as well too. Just trying to juggle my work schedule. I know I haven't streamed in a while. I'm actually a little disappointed in myself on that as well too. Fortunately, however, you can also catch me on other people's channels as well. You can catch me tomorrow on Isaac's channel for the Golden Age podcast, or as we like to say, Golden Shower podcast.
Happy birthday. Yep.
Happy late birthday.
Happy
to
Isaac.
Yes,
Oh, to Isaac, yes. Absolutely. Happy late
Not
birthday.
to you, Ronan.
It was his
You don't
birthday
mind, I'm
yesterday. Yeah. Tuesdays, if we're doing gaming streams here with the homies, you can catch me on there as well, where we do some of that. Thursdays, go and check these guys out on the For the Homies podcast. You know, whether I'm on there or not, check them out. All good people. And Saturday, unless we're doing a watch along for something else, we're probably going back to the gaming streams, I believe. Yes, so you can catch me on there, and then you can catch me back on here on Sunday with the Matinee show. One last thing, buy the merch and join us on the Discord where we do all the watch alongs. This Friday, we're going to do another watch along of a movie for Sunday's show,
which you will bring up in a minute because I forgot what the movie was.
Yeah, me too.
K Jelly.
Yeah, K Jelly.
Hey, yeah, nothing planned on my end. I'm just a professional internet seat filler here, occasionally showing up on people's streams to either play games or talk about things.
Well, you had good insights on the movie and stuff, and you were there watching with us, and we just, like if you come and join the Discord, sometimes if you've got some good insight, we might bring you on the show. Like it's a community we're trying to build here.
Unless you're Ebola.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Community we're trying to build here, and we appreciate you coming on too. So,
yeah, it should be in
Chell
the
third. The only time I'll say it right, Chell the third. Go search him out. And
it's
then
in the description.
It's in the description.
And then AP.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you can find me on my channel, Atomic Patriot, where I upload Monday through Fridays. I'm gonna have fun with this. It's always fun to talk about pop culture and all that. I'm gonna start streaming Subnautica more. That's kind of something I'm working on. I was gonna stream it this weekend, but then we had the fight, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that instead. So I will get back to streaming that sometime early this week, and that's gonna be fun. You can also find me on X, where I offend people a lot, and you can also find me on Critic List, where I do occasional movie reviews. Also, I'm going to shout out someone. Carol Brown just made a Critic List. Go give her a follow.
Nice.
And I will also say this. My kick is still as dead as ever. If you're expecting something anytime soon, you're probably going to
A tall
Phantom's
picture
gonna
does not kick it there.
Phantom's gonna reach the age of 1 million before I but yeah, also buy the merch, specifically buy the don't be gay Phantom shirt.
Yes.
And also don't be gay Campia shirt.
No.
Buy them both, and then buy the Ebola vote shirt.
Ebola vote.
And buy the It's AP's fault shirt as well.
The AP shirt on there? I didn't know that. We need to roll the Ranger shirt.
No, I know.
Working on it.
Yeah, I know you're working on it. A limited run Ronin shirt soon enough.
Are you shitting me?
Are you shitting me? But having said that, like I said, like they've said, we appreciate you all being here. Next week for the matinee show, we're doing psychological thrillers. This is one that Ronin wanted to bring up. So, what was the movie we decided on?
Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive. I've not seen it. I don't know if who else has seen it.
I've not seen it.
It's been a
Seen
while.
it yet myself.
Okay, so only you and Phantom have seen it. So we'll go into that. We'll find out what happens. Psychological Thrillers is for next week. Again, I am MKPU fan. I am the Sugar Honey Iced Tea memer of the GCA and for the homies. I am on Criticalist. I'm on X, and I'm on here with the homies. All I got to say is buy the merch, like the stream, homies, and finish out, Phantom. Back to you.
Thank you everybody for tuning
actually
in
letting Phantom
today.
finish?
Also, thank you everybody who showed up last night for the
Mhm.
Gina Carano Ronda Rousey fight. We'll be doing more of these watch-alongs for events and stuff as the year goes on. And don't forget, we're only 2 episodes away from our 100th episode, and we do have, as far as I know, we do have a special guest, but I can't announce it right now. But yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys Thursday night for the Homies Podcast. I'm Phantom X. He's Tom Patriot. He's Ronan the Crusader. He's K Jelly, also known as Chell the Third. And we got the Rey Mysterio of the Homies, MKPU fan, fuck the Irish. Double Gay Campia. And
Double
goodbye,
Gay fan.
everybody. And we'll see you Thursday night for the Homies Podcast. Have a
Like the
good
stream,
night.
homies.
Like the
Like the
stream.
And buy the merch. Bye, everybody.
Buy the merch. Don't be gay fan.